represent Team Tampa Bay. We are 95.3 FM, W237CW Pinellas Park, WRUB HD3 Clearwater, and the mighty 620 WDAE St. Petersburg. Streaming live right now on your free iHeartRadio app. All your sports, music, talk, and podcasts. Hey, Tampa Bay, free has never sounded so good.
It's time, man. The stage is set.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome home, baby. I like this kind of party.
Putting the fun in dysfunctional. Each and every weekday morning, the Pat and Aaron Show.
Is it a little too early for being that loud?
Good morning, Tampa Bay.
And here we go.
Now your hosts, Pat Donovan and Aaron Jacobson.
Good morning, goons. Welcome to the Pat and Aaron Show, 95.3 WDAE and AM 620, coming to you live on a Waechter Wednesday. That's right, it doesn't have to be baseball season. Waechter Wednesday is forever, although, even though it's not baseball season, it's probably a good thing the Bucs are on the bye week right now, because we're going to talk a lot of baseball, well, sort of. We're not going to get that deep into the Rays lineup this coming season, or what the pitching staff's going to look like, because unfortunately the Rays and Rays fans have much bigger problems when it comes to just where the hell this baseball team's going to play. And I'm nervous about how this thing's going to turn out. I'm angry about the silence from somebody like Rob Manfred, but the report yesterday, and this came out yesterday, Mark Topkin, Colleen Wright put out an article you can find on the Tampa Bay Times and obviously tampabay.com. But according to reports, and Aaron and I were talking about this before the show, there's a ton to go over. But the main point, the main thing we found out is that it's going to cost just under $56 million if the Rays in St. Petersburg want to repair Tropicana Field, and more importantly, well, I don't know if it's more importantly, but as importantly, I would say, especially for Rays fans, even if they do it, it's not going to be ready until the 2026 season.
Yep.
So what we learned yesterday is we can't say the Rays aren't playing in Tampa Bay, because I know, talking to Steve Carney, apparently that's what the commissioner really wants, is for them to be in this area still.
He said it.
Yeah. We don't know. They're not going to be playing in the Trop. We know that. And that is huge news. And the whole thing is discouraging when you're hearing about the St. Pete City Council and what they may or may want to do when it comes to potentially pulling the plug on the new stadium. Where the hell is Rob Manfred, Aaron? Where the hell is Rob Manfred? Because $56 million could be a drop in the bucket for Major League Baseball and Rob Manfred. And by the way, it's not just about the Rays. You could really look like heroes and say, you know what, St. Petersburg, we understand that you've just gone through a natural disaster and you really need to focus a lot of your energy on recovering from that disaster. We're going to come in and take care of this tiny little thing to us, drop in the bucket, so that you can worry about the place, around the Trop.
That's the move. That's the move, Pat, is Rob Manfred stepping in. I mean, listen, I understand.
It's not going to happen.
It should. You've got all this money, and you just said it. This is a hero moment for Rob Manfred. But regardless of that, regardless of if Major League Baseball steps in or not, I think this is an opportunity. And I know there's a lot of money that goes into this and a lot of taxes and this and that and the other things that are way above my head.
Can I just say?
Yes, you can.
Opportunity is the last word I expected to hear out of your mouth this morning.
Why?
I'm interested. Because I don't know. I have a lot of fear about this. I think a lot of people have a lot of fear about this. And opportunity sounds like something exciting could be around the corner, and I can't think of that.
Well, if you think about it, Major League Baseball, as you mentioned, as we've heard from Rob Manfred, they want the Rays to stay in the area. So that includes several different sites here. And, I've seen articles from Mark Topkin, Colleen Wright, John Romano, all did a great job here. And a lot of these ballparks, we know the ballparks in the area. Clearwater with the Phillies, Tampa with the Yankees, Dunedin with the Blue Jays, Sarasota with the Orioles, Lakeland with the Tigers. There's so many options around here. You can even go use Port Charlotte if you want, your own ballpark in Port Charlotte, who in recent years has been impacted by hurricanes as well.
But they all have one major problem in common. As you know, there's no roof.
Yeah, it's going to have
Are we moving every game to 1 o'clock?
No, you're just going to have to figure out in the schedule. You're going to have to finagle it in the schedule to work out ways to figure out how the Rays get the most home games in the most ideal situations to try to avoid that bad weather.
A lot of doubleheaders are going to happen. A lot of rainouts are going to happen.
Doug Waechter has told us, and we'll have Doug Waechter on today in the 8 o'clock hour, that he played in Miami when they had an open ballpark, and it affected a lot of their practice schedule, but it didn't really impact their game schedule that much, believe it or not. But listen, practice schedule, that's important. Having that impacts the season. Not playing at home is important. Not having all your personnel, everybody that's used to just the routine of wherever you live and then going to the Trop, going to the facility, it just puts a wrench into everything. So for two teams that have been dealing with attendance issues for years, two major league franchises, but two completely different situations are going to be without a regular home this year in the Oakland A's and the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah.
So it's a very bizarre situation for Major League Baseball, but you do have an opportunity here, Pat. I think they should accelerate the timeline. You were going to have to kind of be very...
On the new ballpark?
Yes. I thought it was going to be very odd with what they were going to have to do, but they were going to figure it out where you were going to build and construct this new stadium on the same site as where the Trop was while playing games at the Trop and continuing to serve the fans and have people come to the games.
That happens, though. Like teams do that.
Yeah, but it's hard to... You have to maneuver it and schedule it for different ways to allow that to happen, where parking for the state... It's just very strange. Now you can just say, screw it. Let's demolish the Trop now, and let's start building this thing now, and we can have
on the actual Trop site, not across the street,
wherever it is, wherever it's supposed to be.
It would take too long to get it down, I think.
Yeah, demolish the Trop and start building. I mean, get the funds, get the council to approve everything that it has.
Now you're talking about dealing with this weird schedule of playing outside in a place where you shouldn't play outside for years.
They're going to have to do that anyway.
Not if they're back at the Trop in 2026.
Why? To me, it makes no sense. And somebody help me here. 82945, start your text with DAE or call the show. Going to be a very interactive show today, as it always is. 888-546-4620.
Are we extra interactive on a Waechter Wednesday?
I think we will be today because I got to be honest. A lot of the economics that goes into this, when it comes to deductibles and tax breaks and this, that, and the other thing, I got to be honest, goes over my head. I see some people on Twitter, I don't know if they're faking it or if they're Googling it or what they're doing, but they're like geniuses to me.
Yeah.
I'm looking at these people, they're saying some things, oh, this is deductible, blah, 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 tax. I'm like, wow, how the hell do you know this? What do you, this is what you do for a living? I don't know.
So it might be for some people, yeah.
So as much research as I did last night on this very issue, it is very hard. Colleen Wright does a very good job with it. I mean, and some others as well, of following the money and what it means and why it's not so cut and dry. To me, I look at $55 million for a 2 to maybe 3 year usage at the Trop just doesn't make sense to me.
I mean,
so if you're gonna,
if there's another solution, I would agree with you. I don't think playing, and are the Yankees or the Phillies, are all these teams just going to be fine with handing over their, and I know Major League Baseball would probably say, hey, this is for the good of the game, so you're going to have to, but they are just going to be fine with handing over their stadium stuff. Now listen, I will say this, if the Rays were to confiscate, with the help of Major League Baseball or whatever you want to call it, borrow Yankee Stadium, down across from Raymond James.
Steinbrenner.
Yeah, Steinbrenner, sorry. But where the Yankees play, and I should respect Steinbrenner's name because he did a lot for this area. But if they were to end up there,
way to walk that back.
No, well, I actually believe that.
I know. You should.
I think it would be very fun for the times that you would get into that stadium, not be rained out, not deal with the wet seat or whatever, because there's going to be a lot of uncomfortable games there if you're playing outside in the midsummer here in Tampa Bay. But I think it'd be a lot of fun to see the Rays in that ballpark. I've actually never even been in that ballpark yet.
That's crazy.
It's the one sports arena around here. I don't think I've been inside yet.
I think you can do you can do a couple series at Steinbrenner. I think you can do a couple series at Al Lang. I think you can do a couple. You can kind of move around and do it and kind of do it that way.
I wonder how much work it would take to get Al Lang back to baseball standards, because they've moved around a lot of stuff there with the seating and stuff.
I mean,
soccer.
you talk about Nostalgia. How nostalgic would that be? How about go play a game at UT? Put up some stands there for the day.
What are we missing here? What are the Bananas doing?
Savannah?
You don't know where the Bananas are playing?
No.
Whoa. Obviously they had a series or whatever it was, a couple games, whatever, scheduled at Tropicana Field. They can't play there. You don't know where they're playing?
No.
Raymond James Stadium.
Really?
The Bananas are playing at Raymond James Stadium. The ballpark's going to be put together.
I mean,
once football season's...
What was the last baseball Was it San Francisco?
Candlestick,
or Oakland.
Yeah.
Was it Oakland? Because of the Raiders, when the Raiders were still there?
What a weird look that always was.
I'm not a fan of baseball being played in football stadiums. It's really weird to me. That said, under the current circumstances, if there could be a marriage there between the Bucs and obviously, by the time training camp rolls around, they got to get the hell out of the way. But prior to that, if we could get a couple series, even a handful of series at Raymond James Stadium, that would be amazing.
It's going to be really, really interesting to see what they do. But a couple of the moves that were suggested is you could actually. My fly's undone. That's weird.
You saw that on the live stream?
No, I felt it.
Oh, all right. So you didn't have to say anything to the commercial
Did
break.
you
just
see
thought
it?
You'd be like, hey, let me grab my junk in the
Did
middle.
you see it?
No.
What if it was just out? That would have been crazy.
You free balling?
No, but sometimes, when the boxers, the pole. So
strange.
Apparently,
this is worse than our upper decker conversation.
This was
yesterday.
my bad. I just realized in the middle of the conversation.
Did you see on the Bar 204 DA text line, this stadium situation is a metaphoric upper decker.
It really is. So the damage assessment, it's possible apparently that they could play 3 more seasons at the Trop if they were to fix it up and then just kind of push everything back a little bit. So I don't know. There's a lot of options that could be happening here. Very, very weird. But if they delay the project, that accommodates the Tropicana Field repairs. And then apparently there was a report that the city or the city dropped some of the insurance coverage last year because they saved themselves, I guess, like a couple $100,000.
Oh boy!
And apparently that takes a big chunk out of what they would have got here to help out.
See, none of that matters. None of that matters at all. If Rob Manfred does what he needs to do and does what's best for Major League Baseball, best for the Tampa Bay area, and by the way, like you said, hero moment. He looks like a damn hero if he says, hey, we understand the impact that Hurricanes Helene and Milton had on this area, and we want to do our part to try to help out. And by that, we mean we're gonna cover the cost of the repairs to Tropicana Field so Tampa Bay can heal the way that it needs to.
Easy win.
He would look like such a freaking hero if he did that. All right, when we return, it's time for today's top headlines with Casey Warner. That's coming up on the other side. It's the Pat and Aaron Show, 95.3 WDAE and AM 620.
WDAE
Traffic update.
from the Safe Touch Security Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by eBay.
Seeing delays on westbound I-4 from the west end of the Polk Parkway over towards Plant City. Also, we're seeing delays on westbound I-4 just before 275 and reports of a crash now in Pasco County on 56 at Meadow Point Boulevard. No major problems to report on the Howard Franklin Bridge or on 275 throughout St. Pete. Get traffic info around the clock by searching News Radio WFLA on iHeartRadio. I'm Randy Myers.
We all got a thing. Yes, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
Hey guys, it's T. Kraz here for CMK Construction, the kitchen and bath experts. In the aftermath of the storms over at CMK, they know that home is where the heart is, and they want to bring everyone together by remodeling kitchens and bathrooms, also refreshing the spaces that matter most to you. CMK is committed to helping you restore your home better and stronger than ever before. They've been in business more than 20 years, luxury products, quality install, and guys, voted #1 again by readers of the Tampa Bay Times People's Choice Best of the Best Awards as the top kitchen and bathroom remodeling company in Tampa Bay. They've been doing it for more than 2 decades, so whether it's a transformation, repairs, or simply lending a hand, CMK Construction is there for you. So check them out. Let's rise together, remodel together. CMK Construction is where it's at. 813-321-4426. That's 813-321-4426. Or online, cmkconstructioninc.com. CMK Construction, the kitchen kitchen and bath experts.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
Slow it down, get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
What's the Anna Jar and Levine difference? If you're the victim of a car crash, you will always speak to a lawyer. You'll always get the highest standard of care from our dedicated legal team, and we'll always fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. That's the Anna Jar and Levine difference. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Don't wait. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
Main office, Tampa.
Sunday morning at 9. Gear up for your Bucks football game day with the Insiders. 60 minutes of wall-to-wall insight, analysis, and commentary on all things Bucks and NFL. From the most trusted voices in Tampa Bay, Rick Stroud, Scott Reynolds, and Pat Donovan bring you the Insiders. Presented by the Central Florida Behavioral Health Network and the Department of Children and Families. Sunday morning at 9 on the home of the best Bucks coverage. 95.3 WDAE and AM 620.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick. Soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors. Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
An iHeartRadio sports report presented by Mark Spain Real Estate.
From the Cool Today Weather Center, cooltoday.com.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores.
Mix of sun and cloud today, more sun than cloud. It's going to be hotter, high right around 86. Overnight, partly cloudy. The low will drop back to about 69. Tomorrow, Thursday, a little cooler. Mostly sunny, our high right around 83. Get weather info around the clock by searching News Radio WFLA on iHeartRadio. I'm John Thomas.
Staples has amazing deals on everything you need for the holidays, from custom holiday cards and photo gifts to laptops and gaming systems, even shipping solutions. And now save up to $350 on select computers. In-store only. Offer ends 11/16. Unwrap huge holiday savings at Staples.
The biggest guests and analysts from around the world of sports. The Dan Patrick Show. This morning at 9. Now, back to the Pat and Aaron Show on WDAE. Streaming live on Alexa and the free iHeartRadio app. Top headlines.
Time for today's top headlines, brought to you by Mark Spain Real Estate. Also want to remind you, if you go to my Instagram at Pat Donovan Radio, the show's Instagram at Pat and Aaron Show, or 95.3 WDAE, you can enter to win a massive package of meat from my friends at Meat and Bone.
Also,
you should see all this stuff, Aaron.
I did. I saw, and our friend Katie Bacino, her mom, I saw tagged like Katie's husband, a bunch of people she tagged in.
Really?
Yeah, because she's like, look, this is you. Everyone loves the meats, man. If you want to watch us, you can watch us now. Just search on YouTube. I know some people are having trouble finding us. We're going to change it. We're going to make it a little easier.
We also just tweeted it out.
We did tweet it out at Jacobson on air. I tweeted it out. So if you want to, Pat and I at Pat Donovan Radio, right? Yeah. It used to be at Pat Donovan WDAE. Now it's at Pat Donovan.
No, it wasn't.
No?
No, I don't think so. It's been Pat Donovan Radio for a long, long time.
We tweeted it out at 95.3 WDAE. But if you go on YouTube and you just search 95.3 Tampa Bay, I know that's really awkward and weird to say, but 95.3 Tampa Bay, that'll take you to us, I believe.
All right.
Double check that. It will. That will take you to us. And then just press live. It doesn't take you directly to us. This is the worst.
Also, we just tweeted it out.
At Jacobson on air.
And it still says Bucks go for. Should the Bucks have gone for 2?
Yeah, we know.
We
know. That's going to say that for the rest of eternity, and hopefully people figure out that it's not actually what it is every day.
That's an Elon Musk thing.
Yeah, thanks, Elon. It's a Doug Waechter Wednesday is what it is.
People are going to go on Twitter. They're going to see that, and they're going to be like, guys, get over it. Just stop.
Move on.
Can't believe you guys are still talking about this and Taylor Swift.
All right, let's get to it, y'all. A lot of college headlines today in the top headlines. We'll start out with the college football playoff being released between two nice little college basketball games in the Champions Classic last night. So the first round byes are as follows. Number 1 seed is Oregon. Number 2 seed is Texas Longhorns. Number 3 seed are the BYU Cougars. And number 4 seed, the Miami Hurricanes. And then the first round matchups on campus are right now the number 9 seed Notre Dame at number 8 Tennessee. Number 12, Boise State at number 5, Ohio State. Number 11, Ole Miss at number 6, Penn State. And number 10, Alabama at number 7, Indiana.
Yeah, and the reason, even with Miami being, getting that loss, and they fall outside of that ranking that they had before. I think they were number 5 before that loss. The reason they would still receive that bye in the first round, because you've got the 4 highest rated conference champions would receive the first round byes in the 12-team playoff. So if they're the highest rated ACC champion, then they're going to get that bye.
It's going to be so fun. I still think that every time I hear about the college football playoffs, I just think about Dave Portnoy's tweet when they first showed like what a bracket would look like, and he tweeted out and was like, "It's so erotic." Really, it's pretty amazing.
But the matchups look Boise State, Ohio State, Ole Miss, Penn State, Alabama, Indiana. Yeah, those are great matchups, man.
What have we been waiting for?
This.
But why did we wait so long? Is my question.
It's part of the evolution of the sport. I mean, they've
taken a long time.
It goes back to, like we were saying, it was BCS, and then it was, they've been through a million different things.
The BCS was the worst. Absolutely no playoff, nothing to actually determine a champion. They just go, "Hey, yeah, you're the champ."
How do they do that?
Champs.
How do they do that for so long? And
that's what I'm saying.
And why did it take until we had a definitive champion? I'm sure this happened before, where teams would claim, like in the 90s or whatever, they'd be like, "We're the real champion." But it didn't really happen so loudly until there was really a champion. And then UCF was like, "No, we're the champions." It's like, no, you could have done that in the 90s and the 80s. You can't do that now. You're not the real champion.
It's called an unclaimed national title. Unclaimed.
Somebody said yeah, that's right. There's a lot of unclaimed. Somebody said on the text line, if you're subscribed on YouTube, you just look up WDAE Live. It should be the first thing that comes up. Thank you. WDAE Live.
If they're already subscribed, it says, though. You've got to subscribe first.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
I still don't get this YouTube thing.
Technology.
It's cool, though.
We had like 3,000 subscribers before it just blew up.
Yeah.
So we got to get back there, guys.
Yeah.
Get on there. Like and subscribe.
We definitely got to get back there. All right, so moving on to college basketball, the State Farm Champions Classic taking place in Atlanta last night. The first game was Michigan State and Kansas. Number 1 Kansas coming out on top of that one, 77-69. Hunter Dickinson with a big night. He had 28 points and 12 rebounds, and Kansas was in control a lot of this game. Michigan State keeping it close. They moved to 4-0, and Michigan State falls to 2-2.
During college basketball season, every single year at the beginning of the season, I'm like, this is the year I'm going to pay attention to every game. And by the time March rolls around, I'm going to be a freaking genius.
Well, I think this is the year, even though we probably won't watch more college basketball. We've got a freak in there that's just obsessed with it. So he'll teach us.
And listen, You've got guys like you saw it last night against yourself, Cooper Flagg, even though it wasn't enough.
He's great.
He's really good. I mean, I love watching some of these guys, especially these young guys coming up and watching their ascension. But to pay attention to all these teams, and it's just too much. Too much going on. I'm watching the Knicks last night. Like, I got NBA, I got hockey. The Lightning have been off. When that starts again, I mean, it's just nuts.
They're back tomorrow night, but you're right. And there's not a lot of guys that have grabbed, I think, the nation's attention the way Cooper Flagg has for a long time. I've been really interested in just seeing his game ever since hearing about the way he was performing against the USA Olympic team. Remember, he was one of those guys. I can't remember what they call them. There's a couple like invitees that get to come and practice against Team USA.
That's right.
And he was one of those guys.
Forgot about that.
And they were just like, everybody was gushing about the way he was performing against the team. Like, if you're performing that way against the best pros in the world, yeah, I want to see you in college.
That's a good point. Yeah, we got the Lightning back tomorrow at Amalie Arena, 7 o'clock against Winnipeg. But without them, even that, I've got the basketball. Football's been on every single day. It's been glorious, but it's a sportsgasm. We're in the middle of it.
Listen, Casey, you weren't around for this, but the sportsgasm was born during the pandemic. And Aaron and I, we had months of radio, months of sports talk radio without a single game going on.
I remember, yeah. We did in Bowling Green, too. Imagine what we had to dig up to talk about in Bowling Green.
It's the same as here, right?
Yeah.
When you do a show in a place like Bowling Green, doesn't it just become a national radio show where you don't really focus on anything locally because you don't have anything?
Yeah.
How did we do that?
It was weird. It was a weird time.
Do you remember? First ever ratings bonus for you and I
know.
came during the pandemic.
I know. People are like, I guess we've been telling them to stop goofing off, but I guess that's working. I don't remember. How long did we... I remember...
It was a while.
March 12th, I remember that was the day that...
Your mom's birthday.
My mom's birthday, the day that COVID
Sports
killed
died.
sports.
Yeah.
And Rudy Gobert killed sports.
I don't remember when it came back, though.
When did it... What was the first? I forget.
I mean, football season happened on time, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so March 12th, but still, that's a long way.
It was like March through June.
But what was the first thing that was it baseball the first to come back with the short?
No, I think the NBA bubble was.
Korean baseball.
Yeah, there was Korean baseball
Korean
going on the whole
baseball, Ravitchy, Carl Ravitch. That was the greatest thing ever.
I was telling Ronnie Lane on Sunday, I don't remember, we were talking about traveling the world or different places or whatever, and I was saying to him, like, I never in my life had a thought process of like, yeah, I'd like to maybe go see South Korea until the pandemic. And then when I saw the way that they do baseball, heard about the way that they reverse tailgate. Like, do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
They basically, they sit in the parking lot and drink beer and eat fried chicken afterwards. It's pretty great.
COVID was the worst, man.
Yeah, it was a weird time. As we close Top Headlines,
we actually are out of time here on Top Headlines.
Yeah, you know what, though, guys? Can't spell Duke without UK, and UK gets the win last night. 77-72 over the Duke Blue Devils. Nice upset. Cooper Flagg, 26 points, 12 rebounds. Andrew Carr, 17 points, 5 rebounds.
Today's Top Headlines presented by Mark Spain Real Estate. Get a guaranteed offer in your home today at markspain.com and then start packing. We'll talk more about the Rays Stadium, and we'll get into the Buccaneers as well when we come back on the Pat and Aaron Show on the other side. But first, want to remind you about my good friend John Howard. You could find yourself in a position like a lot of people right now who have been dealing with a lot when it comes to trying to recover from the hurricane. Whether you need to get yourself a loan to fix your home up or maybe even rebuild, well, John Howard has loan products right now that can work with your insurance payouts and get your home back and better than before the storm. If you were renting and have been displaced due to the storms, you could be eligible for a 0% down payment. And of course, that option is always available for our veterans with a VA loan, which has always been John Howard's strength. So whether you're a renter, whether you own a home, if you're looking to rebound from the hurricanes, believe me, John Howard, he's been through the same thing living on Davis Island. His home is being repaired right now as well. So he's a guy that not only is great at loans, he's a guy that really understands what you're going through. So if you're in that position, or if you're just thinking about a cash out refinance to try to get back on your feet because you're struggling with bills, John Howard's the guy to talk to. HowardTeamHomeLoans.com is the website. If you're driving, just pull over and write it down. HowardTeamHomeLoans.com.
Ronnie Lane here with my good friend Steve Holland, co-founder and CEO of the Holland Group Retirement Wealth Advisors.
You know, Ronnie, it's always great listening to you with the Buck season in high gear, and I'm amazed by the similarities, of course, between football and retirement planning.
How's that, Steve?
Well, you know, success begins with having a plan, managing the risk, and having a clear view of the whole field. And whether it's football or retirement planning, the best offense is a good defense. It's all about protecting and preserving your wealth no matter what.
You and your team at the Holland Group provide that kind of peace of mind to all your clients. You build them a comprehensive retirement plan, including investments, savings, and a mix of tax-advantaged strategies to get your clients over the goal line and into the retirement success end zone.
That's right, Ronnie.
So call the Hollands at 727-469-7939 or visit AskTheHollands.com. Let's make the rest of your life the best of your life.
Rita, Jorge, let's bring the nail gun over here.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Shop Dell Technologies Black Friday event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Black Friday is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
To our Florida neighbors, your Lowe's community is still here with you. As you recover after Hurricane Milton, you can lean on us for help with cleanup and repair. We're open and ready to help you get the supplies you need after the storm. We're here for your community. Visit Lowe's in-store or online to find out about relief efforts in your area and to get emergency supplies now.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Tune in every Friday for Football Friday. We'll be talking college and pro football with some of the industry's best experts in fantasy, odds making, and commentary. It's Football Friday on 95.3 WDAE and AM 620, home of the best Bucs coverage. Presented by the team at Wesley Chapel Lexus. When you think Lexus, think Wesley Chapel Lexus.
Hey, it's T-Crass for California Closets Tampa Bay. As the year comes to an end, it's a time for reflection and gratitude. And over at California Closets, we hold a deep sense of gratitude towards you, our valued customers and community. So, whether it's a walk-in closet, home office, pantry, or all three, we'll help you make any and every room in your home work for you. It's the Friends and Family event. For a limited time, take advantage of up to 20% off custom design solutions. Schedule a complimentary design consultation today, and let's get started. CaliforniaClosetstampaBay.com.
Attention. If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 813-921-2495. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 813-921-2495. That's 813-921-2495.
International Diamond Center's incredible semi-annual store-wide sale is coming November 22nd through 24th. It's a 3-day, $60 million event. You can take up to 20% off virtually anything or get zero interest financing. That $2,000 Diamond Eternity Band is just $56 a month, up to 20% off or 3 years zero interest financing. All rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, all fashion jewelry, plus special pricing on all GIA certified diamonds. It's November 22nd through 24th at International Diamond Center, Tampa, Clearwater, Lakeland, and Sarasota on approved credit.
The Annika, driven by Gamebridge and Pelican Golf Club. Tickets and info at theannika.com.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission.
The city of St. Petersburg ruling that Tropicana Field, damaged by Hurricane Milton, is structurally sound and can be repaired for the 2026 season at the cost of $55.7 million. NFL, the Bucs enjoying time off. They're on their bye this week. They visit the Giants a week from Sunday. College hoops last night. South Florida won big, blowing out Arkansas Pine Bluff. Florida State among the other winners, drilling Tarleton State. I'm Matt McCoy.
You wouldn't drive a car under the influence, so why would you operate a boat? The FWC wants to remind you that operating a boat while impaired is just as deadly as driving a car and carries the same penalties. Be as safe at sea as you are on the land. Visit myfwc.com for more info.
Broadcasting live from the Rude Air Conditioning Studios. We are Tampa Bay's home for sports. Shouting Go Bulls with horns raised for over 20 years and counting. 95.3 WDAE and the mighty AM 620. Powered locally by Ferguson HVAC.
95.3 WDAE and AM 620. We're going to talk some Bucs football today, but getting deep into this Rays baseball conversation because it's a deep conversation, and I don't think a lot of us know what the hell's going to happen. By the way, that's including people who work for the Rays. Unfortunately, and obviously they know a lot more than we do, and they're going over all of their options. But at the end of the day, I don't think they really know where they're going to be this season.
I agree with you, Pat. And here's why it is the big conversation today. And, of course, Buccaneers football, we love it, and we know how important it is. But they're on their bye week, and we got some big information yesterday with the news. And if you missed it, we figured out now it's going to cost about $55.7 million to repair the Trop. That's what we found out. And it's not going to be ready for the 2025 season at all. It could be ready in time for the 2026 home opener. Here's why it's a big conversation, Pat. It has so many layers to it. It impacts this area forever.
Yep.
Forever.
If we lose this team, this is a bigger disaster than we thought.
And you're right. And that's the focus. And you and I were talking and prepping for this show, and we were trying to get to, like, what's the biggest question here? Because there's a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Where are they going to play next year? Where are they going to play the following years? Are they and should they put the repairs into the Trop, play there, and push the new stadium back another year or whatever? A lot of conversations there. And then the biggest one, and you pointed it out before the show, and I agree with you. The biggest question mark and question now is, could the Rays move completely?
Yeah.
Could they look at this situation and convince Rob Manfred, who wants Major League Baseball to stay here, but find this to use to catapult them to find a new destination?
If St. Petersburg screws around and tries to pull the plug on this thing, it's over. I really believe that. And I'm not saying if they do pull the plug on the financing, if they vote against this thing that they've already voted for, they've already said that this thing's a done deal and we're going to put a new ballpark there. If they pull it, I will not be surprised, nor will I be able to really blame the Rays if they go, you know what, Nashville wants us.
Agreed.
You know what, they want us. If you don't want it, like you already told us you want us, you already want to build this, and I know things have happened, but come on. And I'll be livid. I'll be livid at St. Petersburg and the people they've elected to allow this to happen. And I don't, when I say St. Petersburg, I don't mean everyone who lives there. But the leadership, if they let this thing fall through the cracks, I'll be livid at them, and I'll also be livid at Rob Manfred, because this is such an easy thing for him to fix. $56 million to Major League Baseball is nothing.
Pennies.
It is nothing to Major League Baseball. And shame on Rob Manfred for not getting involved and saying, you know what, St. Petersburg, you guys have been through enough. The people who live there have been through enough. I'm going to make sure you have baseball in your backyard. I'm going to pull a penny out of my billions and billions and billions of dollars that we make and pay for this ballpark. It'd be so easy for Rob Manfred to do, but where the hell is he?
Somebody, and I agree with that completely. Somebody, though, in the city of St. Petersburg screwed up royally. I saw in the Tampa Bay Times listen to this part that I saw in the Tampa Bay Times. The city is the landlord and responsible for repairs to the stadium and already has filed an insurance claim. The city policy includes a $22 million deductible and $25 million of coverage, reduced in March from $100 million so the city could save $275,000 in premium payments. Who voted on that? I mean, how did that happen?
That's insane.
How did that just happen in March? I mean, with all the hurricanes we've been having over the years, you're really going to save $275,000? You're penny pinching? That might be the reason why the Trop doesn't get rebuilt, because you penny pinch.
No, that person needs to work forever to make sure it happens.
I mean,
it's just this is
probably
insane.
a couple people. It's probably had to come down to a vote. I don't think one person can just be like, "Hey, let's reduce the payments of insurance claims." No, like that's got to be voted on. I'd assume.
888-546-4620. We got about 3 minutes here. Let's get Larry and Sincerely Guy in before the break. Larry, we'll start with you. We got about a minute. Good morning.
Yeah, morning, guys. Larry Smash!
Oh, it's been a long time.
Love you.
All right, smash this phone call for us.
Okay, so here's the deal. What you do is you get all the ballparks in Florida. You don't really have a home stadium, but you get them donated from each major league team. There's your funding, and now you pocket all the money. So when the Yankees come to town, that game is in Tampa at their own spring training site. And then when the Orioles come to town, you're going to Sarasota out of their own spring training.
Kind of gives them
the road team.
Yeah, it gives them a little home field. Not saying like all the Orioles fans are here, but there's a lot of Yankees.
Tickets will finally sell. When you go to Dunedin, you're going to the Jays. So, and then you're just pocketing the money. The biggest argument would be their stadiums aren't large enough, but we only send 12,000, 10,000 to a game anyway. So why not and then you could increase the prices and have them actually go enjoy the experience. And then there's a lot of us, myself included, that want to just check off the box. Okay, saw a major league game here. So when Dunedin was hosting the Blue Jays, of course, I went to watch a real major league game there, not spring training, so that checked the box.
Larry,
so that would just continue.
We got to check the box of getting Sincerely Guy in, but thank you for the phone call.
Larry Smash.
Listen, not the worst idea I've ever heard, maybe not the best either. Sincerely Guy, good morning.
Hey, I know it's tight. You got a break coming up. Can I hold till after the break? This is serious.
You know what? You hold till after the break, Sincerely. It's Sincerely Guy. It's serious for him, and it's serious for all of us because we want Rays baseball in our backyard, and it's getting a little weird.
Larry Smash is a guy we played a charity golf event with once, and he just was like smashing balls, yelling Larry Smash. It's a good golfer, too.
Yeah.
It was fun to play with, man.
Great driver, anyways.
Yeah.
All right, listen, Larry Smash, I know one thing he'd be excited about, and that's winning this amazing Instagram contest we got going on right now with our friends at Meat and Bone. You can win, and I'm talking amazing, an amazing barbecue package with ribeyes, picanha wagyu. If you haven't seen the pictures when I cooked that thing, unbelievable. Skirt steak, chorizo, hot dogs, baby back ribs, chimichurri sauce. All you have to do is go to our Instagram at 953WDAE. Follow me, Meat and Bone, 953WDAE. Tag 4 your friends. Follow all the instructions, and you can win an amazing, massive pile of meat from Meat and Bone. And when I talk about a pile of meat from Meat and Bone, I'm talking about the best meat from all over the world. They source it from wherever it is best. If you're talking about the Wagyu, they've got the Japanese A5. They've got all the best meats. Check them out on Kennedy, right near Dale Mabry. And again, make sure you go to Instagram and get into the contest for your chance to win this amazing meat package from Meat and Bone. When we return, we'll get into Sincerely Guy's phone call, talk more about the Trop with you, and tell you a funny story about how the NBA is trying to get us to care about the NBA Emirates Cup, whatever the hell that is. We'll tell you next.
WDAE
Traffic update
from the Safe Touch Security Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores.
A crash on westbound I-4 in the Plant City area right near 39 Paul Buckman Highway. It's in the left-hand lane and traffic slow from the west end of the Polk Parkway. Also, we're seeing delays on northbound US 98 north of Lakeland towards Rock Ridge Road and southbound 275. Traffic slowing down just a bit now towards downtown Tampa. Get traffic info around the clock by searching News Radio WFLA on iHeartRadio. I'm Randy Myers.
Staples has amazing deals on everything you need need for the holidays. From custom holiday cards and photo gifts to laptops and gaming systems, even shipping solutions. And now save up to $350 on select computers. In-store only. Offer ends 11/16. Unwrap huge holiday savings at Staples.
Listening on the free iHeartRadio app? Thanks to Farah and Farah, it's never been easier to send your opinions directly to your favorite show. When you open the app, click the red talkback microphone and hit send. Farah and Farah, here to make it easy, Tampa.
At Rivard Buick GMC, our hearts go out to everyone affected by the recent storms. We understand the challenges of rebuilding. And if a new or a used vehicle is a part of that journey, Rivard is here for you. Rest assured, the massive discounts you're accustomed to remain, regardless of inventory levels. While many dealers may raise prices based on availability, Rivard stands firm and is committed to supporting our community through this tough time. Visit RivardBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
With its new look and taste, Dasani is always crisp, clean, and refreshing. So, when thirst calls, answer with the new refreshed taste of Dasani water, now without salt. Learn more at Dasani.com.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The free iHeart app goes everywhere you do, because it's always on your phone and ready for whatever you're in the mood for. Even better, when you plug your phone into Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, the app becomes part of the dash with a seamless way to listen to your favorite radio stations, the latest must-hear podcast, or a custom playlist to get you focused. And with the holidays on the horizon, the app makes the perfect shopping companion while you search for the ultimate parking spot.
There it is!
Try Apple CarPlay or Android Auto with the iHeart app today.
iHeartRadio.
An iHeartRadio sports report presented by Mark Spain Real Estate.
Here's another great reason to use the United States Postal Service this season. Your boxes are wrapped and the gifts are in. Our employees are ready. Let the holiday ride begin. Let's start with the price. It's easy to manage when you ship with the reliable USPS Ground Advantage. In just a few days, it's sure to arrive. We're working nonstop to keep the spirit alive. USPS Ground Advantage, the affordable and reliable shipping solution for the holidays. Visit USPS.com/advantage.
This report is sponsored by eBay.
Mix of sun and cloud today, more sun than cloud. It's going to be hot. Our high right around 86. Overnight, partly cloudy. The low will drop back to about 69. Tomorrow, Thursday, a little cooler. Mostly sunny. Our high right around 83. Get weather info around the clock by searching News Radio WFLA on iHeartRadio. I'm John Thomas.
We all got a thing. Yes, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
Punch the preset for the ride home on The Drive with T-Grass. Coming up at 3. Now, back to the Pat and Aaron Show on WDAE. Streaming live on Alexa and the free iHeartRadio app.
Pat Aaron, 95.3 WDAE and AM 620. I promise you we'll talk Bucs football today. But listen, this is a big deal for Tampa Bay and for Rays fans because we don't know what the hell's going to happen. They don't know what the hell's going to happen. The season's a few months away. By the way, it's a Waechter Wednesday. We'll get Doug's opinion on all of this as well, starting at 8 o'clock. But Sincerely Guy called in before the break. We tried to squeeze him in. He said, I got too much for you guys. So we held him over till after the break. And he's ready to go. Sincerely, Guy, good morning.
Good morning, Goons. Daily Goon.
Thank you, sir.
Got a quick off-topic question.
Okay.
Before we jump into the topic del giorno and I start asking some hard questions that no one else is asking for some reason. KC and Pat, going to Metallica in June. Yay or nay?
Probably not, to be honest with you. I'm not a big Metallica guy. If somebody hands me some tickets, I might go, but I'm certainly not making a point of going.
I don't know if I'm going to spend the money on the tickets, but I agree with Pat. If I get tickets, I got to go see them. I've never seen them, so.
Wait, is it outside?
Yeah, it's at Ray J.
Yeah, no, I'm not going.
I'd love to go, personally.
You guys need to make a move. Pantera's opening. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see him again. Yeah.
Yeah, seeing Pantera again would be great. Outside concert in July, I'm pretty good.
It's at nighttime.
Yeah, Rays baseball?
It's June. It's June. It's at night. Well,
All
if
right.
you never see Metallica, you're doing yourself a great disservice. All right, back to the topic, Del Giorno. And I mean this sincerely. There's another guy that $55 million is a drop in the bucket for, and that man is Stuart Traderberg. Why is no one asking? Where is he?
I commented on your Facebook page. You said he doesn't care. I completely disagree with you. They could have been gone already. They could have been gone already to places that would have built the ballpark for them. Like, you can't expect him to not try to use insurance and some of these things. And like, I don't know. I don't think it's a fair assessment of what's happening here.
I get it. Hey, we debate. We don't argue. We debate. That's what
fair.
sports
Sure.
radio is. And
Very
I
sincere.
figured you guys would give me some pushback. So let me give you my whole pitch, and then you give me pushback. I can live with all that, Pat, and some of that's true. I know there's insurance and FEMA and the city and bureaucrats and red tape and all that crap. But my God, his team doesn't have a place to play baseball. No statement, no press conference, nothing from this man. That part I don't get.
Hey, let me ask you.
Sends a message. What would? Let me ask you this: WWJVD. What would Jeff Vinnick do?
I mean,
and again, I'll take the debate. I don't understand where this man is. The team has nowhere to play. How is he not pulling the fire alarm? This is an emergency. Where is he?
Two very different situations than with Jeff Vinnick. I missed the Stu part when he called him Traderberg.
Oh, you did? How'd you miss that?
I don't know. I was like doing some other stuff. So I was like, wait, who's Traderberg? He blew this whole thing. So I looked on Google.
You Googled Traderberg?
I Googled Traderberg. And it took me about a full minute to be like, wait, hold on. I think he was talking about Stu Sternberg. I Googled Traderberg.
The guy tried to commit sports treason on our team. He tried to commit sports treason.
I was like, who is
to
this
rip our team
Traderberg character? And then like Trottenberg came up.
Listen, if you listen to the show for long enough, you know we've been very critical of Stu at times when we feel like it was warranted. We both said we thought that the whole Montreal thing was absolutely absurd. I will tell you, just from personal interaction with Stu, from being around this team for a long time, from knowing a lot of the people with the Rays, it is, whether you agree with the way he wants to do everything or not, and I don't think we should agree with the way he wants to do everything. That said, the idea that he just doesn't care about this team, this fan base, this city, I disagree with all that, to be honest with you.
I think Stu is, and sincerely, guy, we got to let you go. Thank you for the call, buddy. I think that Stu is a really nice guy. Like, every time you and I have talked with Stu, and Stu has come on in uncomfortable situations on this show, on with you when I wasn't here one time. I respect anyone who's going to get into the ring and do that, knowing they're going to get some heated questions. So, and listen, I've said some things on the air about Stu that I'm like, wait, that was a little personal. Got to reel it back. Plus, I've gotten to know him a little more personally over the years. Not like I'm friends with Stu, but I've been in situations like Pat where I get to see him. Good guy.
To your point, right? When you and I had that conversation that may have gone a little too far, that was before I was able to sit down with him at FanFest and have that one-on-one that did get, I don't want to say uncomfortable, but we got almost heated about it, right? They knew. The Rays people knew what you and I had said, and then Stu Sternberg still sat down across from me and had that conversation.
No doubt. Now, just because I think Stu's a good guy doesn't take away from my opinions on how he runs an organization. And listen, it's his business. I always have said, I think how someone runs a sports business should be looked at differently than a regular business, a regular corporation, because you have so many fans involved. They're not just consumers and customers. They're people that love you. They love your product. It's not like I might love Charmin, right? But I'm not like,
do you? Are you a big Charmin guy?
Whatever, but
it's
I'm not.
The bears, isn't it? It's the cute little bears with the Charmin on.
Sure. I'm a big Head and Shoulders shampoo guy, but I'm not like going to cheer for Head and Shoulders. Like, there's an emotional attachment.
Head and Shoulders.
No dandruff. There is, even though it still creeps in from time to time.
You got to get the medicated kind.
Nah, I don't want to go. I don't want to be a medicated.
I haven't had dandruff since I went medicated.
It's horrible. I hate that medicated crap.
It smells terrible.
Yeah, it's awful.
But to my point, I'm not sure. Like, there's a love that fans have for what they're consuming, and I look at it differently. And I'm not gonna. listen, Stu might debate this and might think differently, but the way I look at it and the way I look at other owners in baseball where there's no salary cap, Stu is a frugal guy with the money. When it comes to spending the money, he is very, very, very careful to where every single dollar goes. Now, smart businessman, is it how I, if I'm a fan, want to see my organization where there's no salary cap and you got guys like Stevie Cohen in New York going, I'll bring whoever in and for however much.
But that's the thing. The system is more broken than Stu Sternberg.
Definitely.
It really is. Because if he could compete for some of these guys, he would. I mean, they made the call on Juan Soto. I know they're not going to sign Juan Soto. We all know that. We're going to talk about that with Doug Waechter. But they're putting their toe in the water. They look like they want to spend more money. And by the way, when they get the stadium, I think that they will spend more money. I mean, I want a guy like the Cohen, too, that's going to go out there and spend all the money in the world. The reality is most Major League Baseball teams don't have that owner. Most of them don't. And it's because of the system more than it is those owners. I really believe that. Put a salary cap, put a salary floor, make it equitable, and watch how many teams become competitive like in NFL football.
You know what I wonder, Pat, just to wrap this conversation up? I wonder if, let's take Steve Cohen, for example, a guy who's a gazillionaire who spends a lot of money on his team, but also you live in New York in a major market, you're working in New York with your team, you're making a lot of money as well. So let's not miss out on that. They're making more money there than they're going to make here. If Steve Cohen owned the Rays, do you think Steve Cohen is spending money here like he was spending in New York?
No. I don't think he is. And I think a lot of owners aren't. And I think that regardless of what market they're in, they're all in it to make money. Nobody's in this thing to go broke. And I don't blame any of them for that. But at the end of the day, this team is one of the most competitive in baseball. And yeah, I'd love to see them spend more money. I'd always love to see them spend more money. And I think they're building towards trying to do that, which is why they are going after guys like Juan Soto, even if it's a long shot. Who was it last year that we found out that
Freddie Freeman.
Freddie Freeman, thank you. Like they are in on some big names. Sooner or later, they're going to land one of these guys.
No. Maybe in on Freddie Freeman for the $150 million. No way they're in on Juan Soto, who's going to fetch around $600 million.
They're never going to, with Juan Soto, yes, but they're going to probably sign hopefully a couple of good bats this offseason. If they are, they could be in really good shape. Which honestly, on on YouTube, Dalton says, "What if the Rays make the World Series?"
Yeah.
Are they playing a World Series game in a spring training stadium?
No. Major League Baseball have to step in and figure that out. Maybe over Miami at that point, unless
sucks so bad.
Yeah.
It sucks. That would be the most Rays baseball thing ever.
I wonder if the Rays change their model of spending money, big money early on young guys, projecting much like Wander Franco, Brandon Lau, but because of what happened with Wander, you gave him a contract so early, but you just don't know who those guys are. You don't know if they're mature enough or if they're the right character.
I think you still have to take those risks, especially if you're the Rays. Because you've got to get one of those right. You know what I mean? Because you can't go out and spend the Juan Soto money.
But the Freddie Freeman money was comparable to that of not as many years, but comparable to Wander Franco money. And that's a guy who you know is a good guy. You know that guy is legitimate.
He is legitimate. All right, when we return, we've got a loaded 7 o'clock hour. We've got a chance for you to win tickets to the Annika Bucks Talk with Bailey Adams, over, under, and we'll get into some Bucks Talk as well ourselves, tell you who needs to step up in the second half. All coming up on the Pat and Aaron Show.
You wouldn't know it, but most financial advisors are put in a box. I'm Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I want to provide you a little insight about financial advisors. Most financial advisors have to sell what their company requires them to sell, and many advisors have to only adhere to what's called a suitability standard. A suitability standard is a limited standard of care, not requiring what's sold to be best, just suitable. Advisors with this loose standard often have limited investment and product selection. Trajan Wealth is held to a fiduciary standard, which is the highest standard of care in the advisory business. And that's just one of the many reasons we have billions of dollars under our care and attract clients from other advisors. Raise your standards today and call Trajan Wealth. Call 813-550-1000. That's 813-550-1000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Car collisions are dangerous enough, but when it's an 18-wheeler truck, the results can be catastrophic. Truck accidents can cause serious injuries to other drivers. If you've been injured, contact Morgan & Morgan right now.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Get ready, golf fans! The LPGA is returning to Tampa Bay when the Annika, driven by Gainbridge at Pelican, takes over Pelican Golf Club November 13th through 17th. Join us for a week packed with excitement as the world's best female golfers, including former champions Nelly Korda and Lilia Vu, compete for glory. Choose from daily grounds passes starting at just $25 or enjoy the Lightning Lounge with complimentary food and drinks. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at theannika.com and be part of the action.
Get up to a 30% upfront bonus to use for your retirement income or up to 12% per year to help grow your retirement income. Whether you're in retirement or will be retiring within 10 years, Trajan Wealth can offer some of the highest guarantees in the business. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know no one wants to work forever. We all need to retire someday, and I know you've worked hard for your money, so now is the time to guarantee it. Take advantage of up to a 30% upfront bonus for your retirement income or up to 12% per year for retirement income. Don't woulda, shoulda, coulda. Get up to a 30% bonus just for opening an account or up to 12% per year for retirement income. Don't leave your retirement to chance. Retire the right way, the Trajan way with Trajan Wealth. Call Trajan today at 813-550-1000. That's 813-550-1000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. DBA in most states says Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. Together, we're Anajar and Levine, and our team is a triple threat to big insurance companies. Don't settle with the insurance companies for a fraction of what your case is worth. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve.
That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Get your free case review right now. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Main office, Tampa.
The event you've been waiting for, International Diamond Center's biggest and final store-wide sale of the year, is next weekend, November 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Store-wide savings, 20% off or get 36 months zero-interest financing. And it's like double the selection. Top designers flying in with their entire collections on sale. Raggio, Simon G, and many more. Plus, over 1,000 new GIA-certified diamonds specially priced for this event. Upgrade your diamond next weekend, November 22nd through the 24th at IDC, Tampa, Clearwater, Lakeland, and Sarasota. On approved credit, get up to 50% off New South windows and doors. Visit our showroom on November 16th, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. for 40% off. Want that extra 10% off? Show your U.S. military ID or bring a Toys for Tots donation. Visit newsouthwindow.com/50 for details.
Broadcasting from the Rude Air Conditioning Studios. For those who still wear creamsicle while in a sea of pewter and red, we are 95.3 FM, W237CW Pinellas Park, WRUB HD3 Clearwater, and the mighty 620 WDAE St. Petersburg. Streaming live right now on your free iHeartRadio app. All your sports, music, talk, and podcasts. Hey, Bucks fans, free has never sounded so good. Bookmark it. 95.3 WDAE.com for all your Tampa Bay sports needs and more. Now, back to the Pat and Aaron Show on WDAE. Streaming live on Alexa and the free iHeartRadio app.
Aaron Jacobson, Pat Donovan. It's the Pat and Aaron Show. Casey Warner, the first voice you'll hear if you call. 888-546-4620. We'll definitely be talking about the Trop. That's the big story today, but do want to get a little into the Buccaneers here because, Pat, it's starting to feel, and this bye week coming at a big time, this is starting to feel eerily like last season.
I mean, it's exactly the same so far. They start 3-1. They go into the bye with a 4-game losing streak. You can't be more similar.
So if you want to look at a silver lining, you can say, and Coach Bowles said, we're not going to be doom and gloom. And you can look to say, they don't have doom and gloom because they've been through this situation. A lot of these guys, and I know there's a lot of young guys too, a lot of rookies that are having to play some time here, but that haven't been through this, but they know the adversity. They've been through this adversity. The only difference here is the Falcons weren't the Falcons last year that they are this year.
Yeah.
That is the big difference for me.
Which is why I think the division is incredibly difficult to consider winning when you'd have to go basically 6-1 and have them fall flat on their faces. But at the same time, I think the wild card is very much a possibility.
Pat, you and I were talking before the show, and we're talking about key guys and who's going to have to be important down the stretch here. And it's interesting that I bring up how, and Coach Bowles brings up, they don't have doom and gloom. They've been through this before. The schedule does get easier, But when we talk about them being through this before, you usually think, okay, the veterans of this team, they've been through this before. They know what this is like. But you believe that some of the most important pieces moving down the stretch here are two rookies.
I think they have to be.
Bucky Irving and Jalen McMillan.
I do. I think, Bucky Irving needs to be the guy. If you're not going to use Sean Tucker, don't use Sean Tucker, whatever. I don't know what the hell you're doing. But it needs to be Bucky Irving more often than not because the kid is special. He makes explosive plays. For his last touch the other day to be with like 10 minutes left in the game or whatever the hell it was, that's disgusting. That cannot happen. He needs to be on the football field a lot. And again, I'd like to see more of Sean Tucker. If you're not going to use him, I can't impact that, right? But Sean, I think Bucky Irving, because he's the guy that's going to give you the most opportunity for explosive plays, needs to be a bigger part of the offense down the stretch than he's been. And Jalen McMillan, he just needs to show up. We need to see him become a secondary target to Mike Evans if the passing game is really going to become what it needs to be to compete down the stretch and into the playoffs if they can make it.
Exactly. When you get Mike Evans back after the bye, that takes, and I know Jalen McMillan's been battling the injuries and hasn't been able to be out there on the football field, but, when he had the opportunity, when you had that chance to be the number one guy, I don't know if the injuries were playing into that, but he just hasn't been that guy. Now you come back. Mike Evans is going to be out there.
Yep.
Now you can jump into that Chris Godwin role and really find maybe a way there to be that. Obviously you can move him around and use Jalen McMillan in a lot of different ways. But if you can find yourself as that blanket that Chris Godwin was out of the slot for Baker Mayfield, and you can show your ability. Now the hard thing is he's dealing with leg issues, right?
And he's never going to be Chris Godwin from a physical standpoint.
For sure.
He's not going to bounce off tacklers and go for, but he can make plays.
Like Chris Godwin has the speed, but he's also got the physicality. He's a physical specimen when you look at him. I'm not saying Jalen McMillan is not in shape, but Chris Godwin
is tiny in comparison.
Not a lot of guys have the size of Chris Godwin, but the speed and the agility for sure, and he's going to have to be healthy to be able to do that. But I agree with you. He's a big part of it. And then when we talk about defense, man, the guy who you've been saying just doesn't look right because he might not be right.
Yeah,
but
I don't think he is.
He doesn't look right now, and he's got to figure that out while he's on the football field. Antoine Winfield Jr.
No doubt about it. The guy has to be the playmaker that we've seen him be in the past on defense because I've said a million times, I said it yesterday, I don't think the solutions are on defense. I think you can play a little bit better, hopefully be opportunistic if your offense is controlling the pace of the game. But when it comes to being opportunistic, when it comes to taking the ball away, it's been a lot of times Antoine Winfield Jr. He needs to look like Antoine Winfield Jr. for this defense. Is it going to fix the defense? No. If it just gets incrementally better, just a little bit better with the way the offense is playing after you get Mike back, after you get Jalen McMillan back after the break, it could be totally different. But just to go back to Jalen McMillan for a second, the reason why, to me, I say he's one of the key players on offense and not Mike Evans, we know what we're going to get from Mike. We know what we can expect from Mike. Typically, that's the case with Antoine Winfield Jr. Lately, it hasn't been. I think it needs to be down the stretch.
And I think for me, the guy that needs to step up and show up, and he started to around this time last year, but he's been getting the opportunities in the first part of the season more than he did last year, is Yaya Diaby.
Yeah.
If Yaya Diaby can start to get some pressure and get after a quarterback and bring that guy down, now we can start to talk about the defense being able to do some of the things that Todd Bowles desires them to do.
Yeah.
But it starts with getting after the quarterback, and Yaya Diaby is a guy we expected to. We remember we were there in training camp watching when he went down with an injury, and we thought, oh my gosh, this season might be over before it starts because we lose Yaya Diaby. It wasn't the case. He's been on the field, but he has not been able to produce for this team.
He hasn't, and he needs some help off the other side as well, right? Because that's a big part of the reason why he hasn't been himself. Because if you can mass protect, you're mass protecting to his side. You're not worried about Chris Braswell. You're not worried about Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. We
got after
we haven't
last
seen
week,
Jose. He had a sack, but I mean, overall, he's just not consistent enough.
For sure.
Nobody is at that position. But if you start getting some pressure off the other edge, you're not going to be able to help on Yaya as much, and we'll see better things from him as well. But just about everybody on that defensive side of the football has underperformed this season. You take away Vita Vea, who, by the way, just had one of his best games as a pro. 10 tackles from defensive tackle is insane.
I think the only guy who was overperforming was a guy who got hurt in Servassier Dennis.
That's it. Servassier was fantastic. This dude was, for a couple weeks after he got hurt, was one of the leading tacklers on this team still, and he didn't even start He wasn't even a starter, and every week when he was playing, you looked, and he was one of the top 2 or 3 tacklers. He was making plays in coverage. You can clearly see the difference without him in coverage. I mean, the guy was so much more of a physical impact player than I thought he was going to be. Some of the hits we saw him deliver earlier in the season, complete tackler. Like the kid, we all thought he could maybe be a pretty good football player in this league, develop into a starter. I never expected him to look the way he did to start this season just in year 2. It's really unfortunate they lost him for the year, unless potentially he comes back for the playoff run, if there is one.
San Francisco got their bye week at the perfect time where they were dealing with so many injuries, and they could come back and bring Christian McCaffrey back. And you have to hope it's a similar story with the Buccaneers. You come back from the bye, you got to get Mike Evans back out there. You got to get Jamel Dean back out there. If you can get those 2 guys back, and of course Tristan Wirfs, we know how important to the equation he is. But especially with the opponents they're playing, you can get Mike Evans back out there to make some plays. If you can get Jamel Dean out there to try to shut some things down, that can right there alone help you in this soft schedule.
Not sure if we'll see Jamel Dean, although I think so, coming out of the break. But Mike Evans, again, I don't know if the Bucs loved it, but Baker said it after the game. He's like, 13's coming back. So we know Mike's going to be out there, at least according to Baker Mayfield, who sort of broke the news, I guess, after the game on Sunday.
888-546-4620 if you want to join the show. We're going to give away tickets, a pair of tickets to the Annika on Sunday at the Pelican. So if you want to line up those calls now, if you want to go hang out at the Pelican, which is an awesome course, and the Annika is a great tournament. So go if you want to join the phone line, the queue right now, 888-546-4620. Your chance to win a pair of tickets to the Annika Sunday at the Pelican. A big conversation this morning as we're going to continue talking about it this morning. I see the text line is hot. YouTube chat has been hot as well. It's Tropicana Field because we did get definitive news yesterday. Huge news.
It's not great.
Not great that the price tag of repairs to the stadium are around $55.7 million. And that, by the way, I heard doesn't even include some of the things that go in as far as audio and some of the technology that has to be put in after that. So the big problem is here, the question I should say is, where do they play next year? Because it's not going to be ready for next year. Do they even decide to repair the Trop? Is it worth it to repair the Trop? Are the Rays, is Tampa Bay in danger of losing the Rays completely through this situation? So there's a lot here, Pat, that we need to cover when it comes to the Rays. And with that announcement yesterday, essentially saying with the findings that they're not going to be able to play at the Trop next year, they're not going to be able to play there until 2026. That's if they decide to do the repairs. A lot of question marks. That will be the conversation today. But once again, if you want to line up those calls for your chance to win a pair of tickets to the Annika Sunday at the Pelican, that's 888-546-4620. But before we do that,
I want to remind you about our great friends at Suncoast Credit Union. If you've been thinking about opening up a new account, that's the place to go because they're always giving back to you just like they always give back to our community. You heard us talking about it all baseball season long. $90 every time a Rays player got a base hit or a home run. Who knew that maybe they should have been donating that $90 directly to the Rays, Aaron?
That's right. And also, Suncoast Credit Union, they can help you out with so many other things. When you're faced with the unexpected, your home's equity may be able to help you. And that's why right now, by applying for a home equity loan from Suncoast Credit Union, you'll get a personalized review of your application so you can get into the best loan products for your needs and your budget. That's why they cover up to $1,000 in closing costs. Check them out. Apply online today. Suncoast.com/restore. That's RESTORE. Suncoast.com/restore. Membership is required. Other terms and conditions apply. On the other side, your chance to win a pair of tickets to the Annika Sunday at the Pelican. It's next on the Pat and Aaron Show.
WDAE
traffic update.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com.
A wreck on westbound I-4 near Buckman Highway in the left-hand lane and traffic jammed up from the west end of the Polk Parkway. Also, we're seeing delays on westbound I-4 just before downtown Tampa and 275. A crash on eastbound Pierce just before 275. It's in the right-hand lane and building traffic on southbound 275 near Sly. Get traffic info around the clock by searching News Radio WFLA on iHeartRadio. I'm Randy Myers.
Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
If you've been renting and are now displaced from the storms, you could be eligible for a home loan that does not require a down payment. Reach out to our guy, John Howard, who knows what you're going through. Find out more at howardteamhomeloans.com. Lower LLC, NMLS 1124061. Equal housing opportunity terms and conditions apply.
With its new look and taste, Dasani is always crisp, clean, and refreshing. So, when thirst calls, answer with the new refreshed taste of Dasani water, now without salt. Learn more at Dasani.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Skip the hassle and sell your home with the strongest cash offer this fall. The guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate is the easiest way to sell your home. Hey, it's Aaron Jacobson here, and with the guaranteed offer, you can skip the uncertainty and sell your home fast for all cash in as little as 21 days. Mark Spain Real Estate has been serving families for nearly 30 years and have helped over 58,000 satisfied clients. Trust the top real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home fast and for maximum profit. Go to markspain.com and find out what your guaranteed offer would be today and start packing.
Hey, this is Kyle Brantz. You're busy. I'm busy. But every single Monday, we take 10 minutes to dish out 10 takes. NFL, life, whatever, but never more than 10 minutes. It's 10 takes with Kyle Brantz. Driving home from work? You got time for 10 takes. Taking a smoke break? You still smoke? You got time for 10 takes. Listen to 10 Takes with Kyle Brantz on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search 10 Takes with Kyle Brantz and start listening.
Skip the hassle and sell your home with the strongest cash offer this fall. The guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate is the easiest way to sell your home. Hey, it's Aaron Jacobson here, and with the guaranteed offer, you can skip the uncertainty and sell your home fast for all cash in as little as 21 days. Mark Spain Real Estate has been serving families for nearly 30 years and have helped over 58,000 satisfied clients. Trust the top real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home fast and for maximum profit. Go to markspain.com and find out what your guaranteed offer would be today and start packing.
Take WDAE with you anywhere you go with a free iHeartRadio app. Free, never sounded so good. Presented by the law offices of Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores.
Mix of sun and cloud today, more sun than cloud. It's going to be hotter, high right around 86. Overnight, partly cloudy. The low will drop back to about 69. Tomorrow, Thursday, a little cooler. Mostly sunny, our high right around 83. Get weather info around the clock by searching News Radio WFLA on iHeartRadio. I'm John Thomas.
Staples has amazing deals on everything you need for the holidays, from custom holiday cards and photo gifts to laptops and gaming systems, even shipping solutions. And now save up to $350 on select computers. In-store only. Offer ends 11/16. Unwrap huge holiday savings at Staples.
For more information about contests on this station, go to 953wdae.com/rules. Sports talk for your ride home. On The Drive with T-Crags. This afternoon at 3. Now, back to the Pat and Aaron Show on WDAE. Streaming live on Alexa and the free iHeartRadio app.
Welcome back to the Pat and Aaron Show. Aaron Jacobson and Pat Donovan. Casey Warner, first voice you'll hear if you call in. Like now, if you want to win tickets to the Annika at the Pelican on Sunday, a pair of tickets, 888-546-4620. If you've been listening to the show today, then you're going to get these tickets. You're going to win these tickets. And by the way, that's how we're going to do it moving forward. You got to earn it. You got to listen to the Pat and Aaron Show if you want to win these tickets. Some of these people, especially, we're going to have a lot of great tickets coming your way. We're only bringing the best of the best to you.
These people? You talking about the old PW? I don't know if I can say it on the air in the morning.
And they're just like, I'm going to call in, and then I'm not going to listen to the rest of the show.
Prize W's?
No. Yeah. Which is okay if you want, but we're going to make it a little harder on you.
Is it okay?
You PWs. All right, 888-546-4620 for the Hanukkah tickets. Who do we got, Donovan?
Austin is in Pinellas Park. 888-546-4620 if you're not Austin.
Hey, I'm here, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, let's go. We've been talking about it all morning. It's been the topic of conversation from the start of the show.
Del Giorno, is that what?
Yeah, he said Del Giorno. I'm not doing
earlier?
that. I'm not doing his Del Giorno. But I will tell you, I will ask you.
We go du jour.
Du jour is much better. Approximately how much will it cost the Rays or the city, I should say the city of St. Petersburg, to repair Tropicana Field?
Well, guys, thought you were going to stump me with this one, but I could be wrong. Let's go $53 million. Or was it $8 million is what the county approved for them to do the cleanup around?
No. You're in the right ballpark, but you're not in my approximate ballpark.
Yeah, I think there's only one number.
Yes,
Two numbers, one the exact number and then the rounded number.
Yes, the whole number.
Right,
for sure.
Eliminated.
I'm glad we felt the same way about that.
Do you want to eliminate him with me?
No, I can't. I feel bad. He was so
wow.
close.
Oh, wow.
I know. I'm turning a new leaf.
Eliminated. I'll do it.
All right, who's next?
Nobody.
All right, who wants these tickets? Maybe we should have given them to Austin. 888-546-4620.
Gabe in Seminole wants to talk about the Bucks. Maybe we can have some time for him after we get somebody who wants to win the tickets.
It's going to be a great event. Caitlin Clark was out there yesterday. Nelly Corder's going to be out there.
Why didn't you get her on the show? You said you were going to get her on the show.
She was only doing the press conference, and I'm like, that's awesome. That was cool. I think I saw Kyle Berger. Somebody was out there locally. Great. I wanted to get her on the show.
A press conference for a pro-am, like, you can't, in my opinion, you can't go in there and start asking her real questions about, like,
the things that I want to ask
WNBA life or any of that. Like, you know,
her life. I want to talk. I can't just get one or two questions, because the first one's like, I got to warm her up to me, right? A la Baker Mayfield with you last year in his introductory press conference, complete opposite.
I did not warm him up. No. I cooled him down.
So, yeah.
Thanks to you.
Yeah, so I didn't. I wanted to get her on the air, if anything.
Steven is in Trinity. Good morning, Steven.
Good morning, Pat. 55.7, I believe.
Wow.
It's exact. It's not even approximate. It's exact. You're going to the Hanukkah. It's going to be great. The Pelican, beautiful golf course. So you're going to be getting a pair of tickets on Sunday, for Sunday.
Thanks, guys.
On the money. And by the way, don't forget, Friday afternoon, Nick Wise and myself, special broadcast from noon to 3, live from day 2 of the Hanukkah.
Yes, so make sure you check that out. All right, so the big conversation has been Tropicana Field, and Doug Waechter is going to be joining us at 8 o'clock, and I cannot wait to talk to Doug about what he thinks is going to happen here, because I can't remember, in my lifetime, I can't remember. I don't know if anything like this has ever happened.
I don't recall something like this in my lifetime. The closest thing is Katrina.
It's one thing for a stadium to get ruined, right? It's another whole other element for it to get ruined 2-3 years before you're going to have a new stadium built and put in place and starting a new era at the new stadium.
I think it's completely unique in that situation.
It is so unique. Because let's say that new stadium wasn't happening. The Rays were they liked the Trop. They were going to stay at the Trop. Everyone was going. Everything was good. This happens. All we're talking about is easy. $55 million repair. Go make that repair. They'll go figure it out. It will still be weird for the next year where they play for the next 1 year. But then you just replace the Trop and that's it. Boom. Wash your hands of it. But because of the weird portion of this involving a new stadium, beautiful state-of-the-art stadium that just got approved, that's going to be built. We were so excited. That's why you don't put shovels in the dirt until it's time to put shovels in the dirt, Donovan. This is a lesson. Natural disasters happen, man.
Well, listen, we should still put shovels in the dirt. It should still happen. It needs to happen. But I said earlier, and I'll continue to say, I think Rob Manfred needs to step up and Major League Baseball needs to step up and take care of this. But it doesn't sound like that's going to be part of the conversation. Maybe me and you need to do it, Aaron. Let's start a GoFundMe right now. We'll take some vacation time and go to California and start knocking on doors in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, rich people, step up for the Rays. GoFundMe.
Think that would work?
We could try. What happens if you start a GoFundMe and you don't reach your goal, I think you don't get the money, right?
I'm not
We should
sure
start.
how that
I want to
works.
start one today for the race.
But like, it could be embarrassing. It could only get like $10,000. What if that happens?
I mean,
then they might look at it and go, "This nobody wants to save this organization here."
Yeah, that's why we need to go nationwide. Celebrities, people with serious money. We'll get our friend Owen Harn. He knows people in Hollywood. He was just acting in the piano lesson with Denzel.
All right, let's get a little
Let's get
serious
Denzel
here.
on this case.
Let's get a little serious here.
Fine.
Because I do worry that we are going to lose this team forever. It's not a huge concern at this point. We're not at like
I think
code,
it is.
It's not code red for me right now.
I think it's code red.
Really?
The fact that they've elected new people to the St. Pete City Council, and apparently a couple of them aren't into it, and now they've got this big excuse to try to get out of this. I'm not saying it's going to happen. As a matter of fact, reading some of the reports earlier from Mark Topkin and also Colleen Wright in the Tampa Bay Times, the comments from the mayor are pretty optimistic when it comes to the opportunity to get this thing done. He says that the council's still on board, but I don't know, man. It's very nerve-wracking for me to try to trust these people right now.
And then the next question, and really the more immediate question, I think, is it's tough because the immediate question is, do you make the repairs to the Trop? That's the immediate question. Because if you're going to do it, you got to start, you got to get it done, you got to get them ready for the next season, for 2026. But then the next kind of question that's not too far after that, because they know they're not playing 2025 there is, and I know that Stu Sternberg and everyone with the Rays and Rob Manfred, they got to be talking about this right now, yesterday, is where are they going to play this season?
It's a hell of a question.
I mean, that is an immediate question and a need they have to fill because it's going to come quickly, Pat.
It is. Spring training will be here before you know it. I mean, it always pops up out of nowhere, and obviously they know where they're doing spring training, but they got to know where they're playing after that. And we know Major League Baseball wants it in Tampa Bay. This is a situation that is, I feel like we should be getting an answer any day now, just based on how much needs to happen. But I don't feel like we're going to get an answer any day now. I feel like we should. I feel like we're not going to. So much of this still feels so up in the air. And yeah, it's really scary. Here's the comment, by the way, from Mayor Welch. Obviously, with the hurricanes, a lot of things have been reset. I think from the city's perspective, we're still on track to meet our current obligation to participate in the new stadium at the historic gas plant. Probably the county is still on track. We're having conversations. Probably, guys. Hey, probably we'll still have a baseball team.
It
doesn't feel good.
It doesn't feel great. The St. Pete City Council is going to discuss the report on November 21st. They have a meeting then. Brandy Gabbard, one of the members there, said, we have so much need across the city. I love the Rays. I love the Trop. It's not about not wanting to do this. It's about a balance of priorities. So we do have an issue on our hands. We do have a real issue on our hands here, and it's going to mean potentially that taxpayer dollars could have to be used to fix things up, and I know nobody wants to hear that. Speaking of fixing things up, if your body is breaking down, we know exactly who's going to fix that up for you. It's our friends at Florida Orthopedic Institute in partnership with Tampa General Hospital. So if you're dealing with any injury, any nagging injury, it's been going on for a while now, don't do that any longer. Florida Orthopedic Institute, the highly skilled board-certified physicians and surgeons are going to get you right. And at Tampa General Hospital, they've been ranked in the top 2% in the nation for orthopedic surgery for this year alone by U.S. News and World Report. They know what to do to help get you right.
That's right. We always talk to our doctors from Florida Orthopedic Institute every week. You can hear their expertise. And Aaron mentions Tampa General Hospital. They don't perform a couple surgeries every year. They perform thousands of orthopedic surgical procedures per year, allowing them to be more efficient and provide better quality outcomes. So if you've got an injury and you want a quality outcome, you need to go see our friends at Florida Orthopedic Institute and Tampa General Hospital. Make an appointment so easy to do. Just go to 800-FL-ORTHO or floridaortho.com.
Very interested to hear what Doug Waechter has to say about everything that we heard yesterday in that report about the Trop. That's going to be at 8 o'clock. On the other side, let's get back into the Bucks with Bailey Adams from Pewter Report next.
Listening on the free iHeartRadio app? Thanks to Farah and Farah, it's never been easier to send your opinions directly to your favorite show. When you open the app, click the red talkback microphone and hit send. Farrah and Farrah, here to make it easy, Tampa.
Hey, it's T-Kraz for California Closets Tampa Bay. As the year comes to an end, it's a time for reflection and gratitude. And over at California Closets, we hold a deep sense of gratitude towards you, our valued customers and community. So, whether it's a walk-in closet, home office, pantry, or all three, we'll help you make any and every room in your home work for you. It's the Friends and Family event. For a limited time, take advantage of up to 20% off custom design solutions. Schedule a complimentary design consultation today, and let's get started. CaliforniaClosetstampaBay.com.
The event you've been waiting for, International Diamond Center biggest store-wide sale of the year, is next weekend, November 22nd, 23rd, and 24th.
20% off or 36 months, zero interest financing next weekend only at IDC, Tampa, Clearwater, Lakeland, and Sarasota.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Why'd the kid jump off the boat?
I don't know. Why?
Peer pressure.
Oh. Good one, Ned.
Ned isn't funny, but Ned owns a boat, and you don't. So every time Ned tells another one of his unfunny boat puns, you're going to laugh loud and keep on laughing until you get a boat of your own.
A pier where you put a boat.
Yeah, I get it.
And when you do get a boat of your own, make sure you save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Central banks worldwide are sending a signal. They're buying gold at record prices because they need to. The massive debt Trump is inheriting, the uncertainty. Think about it. Just visit noblegoldinvestments.com now and use promo code TRUMP. You'll get up to 10 1-ounce silver Trump coins or a 10-ounce silver American flag bar with a qualifying account. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
The free iHeart app goes everywhere you do. Even better, when you plug your phone into Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, the app becomes part of the dash with a seamless way to listen to your favorite radio stations, the latest must-hear podcast, or a custom playlist to get you focused. Try Apple CarPlay or Android Auto with the iHeart app today.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Win $15,000 in new impact windows from Reese Windows. Pick up your phone and text the word HAPPY right now to 20129. That's HAPPY to 20129.
Right now, drive a Mazda with no payment for 90 days, and with rates coming down, many models at 0% financing. Find out more at Mazda of Clearwater on US 19, just south of Roosevelt and East Bay Drive, or go online to mazdaofclearwater.com.
The Annika, driven by Gamebridge and Pelican Golf Club. Tickets and info at theannika.com.
Broadcasting live from the Rude Air Conditioning Studios, the home for Team Tampa Bay. Over 20 years and counting. 95.3 WDAE and the mighty AM 620. Powered locally by Ferguson HVAC.
Bailey Adams, FeudalReport.com. Joining us now. You can follow him at Bailey J. Adams 22. This is so unprofessional.
It is. It's disgusting as well. I'm sure people eating breakfast listening to us are thrilled.
I had to finish my breakfast bar. I had to jam it in. That was a really short break. I had to get it in quickly. But I'm powered up. I got my bar in me, and I'm ready to go. Bailey Adams joining us on the show. Bailey, this bye week. I mean, this is the perfect time for this bye week. They are banged up. Who do we expect to get back? Do we expect Mike Evans back for sure? Jamel Dean. What are we hearing the latest on Jamel Dean? Can we expect him back after the bye?
I'm not so sure yet that Jamel will be back the first week after the bye. I know there was some question we were talking about the other day whether it's it's going to be four games or 4 weeks with him being on IR, and a lot of it will be clearer when everybody's back on the practice field and we get a little bit more of an idea next week when they get back in the game prep. But even Mike Evans, I think, is more of a wait-and-see kind of situation for next week. I think the expectation is for him to be back for this next game against the Giants, but it's still kind of a wait-and-see mode where we want to know how everybody's feeling once they get back to getting ready to go.
All right, let me ask you this. Aaron continues to say that this bye week is coming at the perfect time. Is it, Bailey? Because wouldn't it have maybe been a little more beneficial before one of the two really good opponents they just played?
It might have been just because of it would have maybe fallen in a right spot for it to not hit as low as it's gotten right now. But I think in the sense that the schedule lightens up after this bye, so they have this bye week to get healthy, to kind of get some things fixed, hopefully, and then prepare for 7 games against winnable opponents, beatable opponents. The Chargers are the only team they play with a winning record, and I don't think the Chargers have proven to be unbeatable. So maybe being in this spot where, hey, yeah, they got those tough games out of the way. It wasn't the best stretch, but now they can kind of regroup and get back together. It maybe is a really good spot for the bye.
Bailey, we never see Todd Bowles ever get too high, and we never really see him get too low. But he's dealing with it right now, and he's dealt with adversity already throughout his head coaching career. What's the sense and the feel you're getting when you speak with Todd Bowles, when you hear him at the podium? What's the vibe you're getting from Todd dealing with this really a mess right now?
I think a lot of it is the same. Like you said, he never gets too high or too low. I think when he's asking questions that are maybe a bit more pointed, he can get a little shorter with his answers, but it still kind of seems like he believes in the guys they have and believes in what they're doing. I don't get any sense of panic from him, and I don't know that you ever really will with Todd Bowles, even though some people might argue that there should be some sense of panic now. But as far as this situation they're in and them being in this situation last year, it's a little bit different because last year the defense was playing better and, it's kind of more inconsistency on offense. This year it's Todd Bowles' side of the ball that has gotten them into this situation for the most part. So it'll be interesting to see if they can turn it around and what they can do on defense because aside from Jamel Dean coming back, there's not really much help on the way.
It doesn't seem like they're going to figure out how to cover anybody with the people they've got in place this season. So in your opinion, should Todd Bowles say, you know what, screw it, we're going to get beat from some big plays, but maybe we can just make a few big plays if we get uber aggressive and start just kind of bringing the house, playing press coverage, and cut it out with this soft zone stuff?
I don't know. It's difficult because I'm inclined to agree with you, but I also don't know if they have the guys right now to play man-to-man the way that some people want them to. It's not like what they're doing right now is successful, so maybe it's something to try. I think there's going to be some sense of you've got to try something different after the bye because doing the same thing over and over is just insanity. And this soft zone coverage is why they're getting beat so often. But I don't know. I don't really know what the answer is because of the issues at linebacker, the lack of depth at corner with some of the injuries they've had. And even some of the poor play at safety. I think Jordan Whitehead's not playing his best ball. We haven't seen Antoine Winfield Jr. play the way he did last year. So it's just kind of been a weird collective decline for everyone on that defense, and the scheme isn't helping.
You all at Pewter Report put out your Pewter Report roundtable, and the topic was, what's the Bucs' source of hope down the stretch? So I will ask you on the Pat and Aaron Show roundtable, Bailey, what is the source of hope for the Bucs down the stretch?
Yeah, I'll stick with my answer from that roundtable, and it is the schedule. It's when you kind of look at the last few games, it's especially frustrating because the Bucs have lost 4 games in a row, and just about all of them, maybe not the Ravens game, but just about all of them, they were in the game and had the chance to win it. And these are good opponents. They probably should have and could have beaten the Chiefs on Monday Night Football in Arrowhead. They had this game on Sunday where the missed field goals by Jake Moody had them in the game. They were down at the 5-yard line late with a chance to score a touchdown to go up late. They could have won these games, and these are good teams they're playing. It's the undefeated Chiefs. It's the defending NFC champion 49ers, and these are good teams. Teams are probably going to the playoffs. And so when you go into the next stretch of games, the final stretch of games, these are some bad teams they're playing. A lot of 2-win teams, a lot of 3-win teams. And if they play up to that level they were playing against these playoff-bound teams, they're going to run into some wins here, and then you'll see. You got to just see what happens from then. You only take care of what you can take care of, and if they can go 6-1 in these 7 games, they'll put themselves in a good spot.
Bailey, I continue to be incredibly impressed for the most part with the play calling of Liam Cohen, but also incredibly baffled by the lack of opportunities for Sean Tucker. What are your thoughts on the running back room and their usage?
I agree with that. It's just I think what Liam has said a couple times, and I kind of understand it from his standpoint, is it's difficult to get touches for three running backs. I would have liked to see on Sunday, and I even mentioned this to Scott Reynolds up in the press box before the game, I think, or maybe it was in the second quarter, something like that. That why not give Sean Tucker just a drive? Give him a drive and just feed him on that drive and see what he can do. Maybe he can spark something. And I know it's difficult because I think Rashad's playing well. Rashad's running the ball pretty decently, and he's a big help in the pass game, great in pass protection. He is the best pass protector in that backfield. And Bucky Irving has been a revelation. I think he's been the best running back on the team. But, yeah, I think Sean Tucker has earned opportunities, and they just haven't really been there. And you got to cut into one of the other guys' snaps. Unless I don't know, maybe you can run that pony package with two running backs on the field instead of always running it with Rashad and Bucky. Maybe getting Sean Tucker in there as one of those backs is a possibility. But they got to do something because the guy earned it and hasn't really gotten what he deserved.
If you had to make a prediction right now, does your gut tell you the Buccaneers have a legitimate shot at running the table and making the playoffs?
I'm going to go with no, unfortunately. I think the hope is that the schedule is softer. The hope is also that they have a great offensive coordinator in Liam Cohen. They're going to get healthier. But this defense is just not proven enough to this point. I know they're going to be playing some worse offenses, but I haven't seen enough consistency out of this team to say, yeah, they can win 3-4 games in a row and put themselves in a position. Because even 6-1 at this point gets you to 10-7. There's no guarantee that you're in the playoffs there. It puts you in a spot where you might get in. But yeah, I don't know about running the table, and even 6-1 might be a stretch with the inconsistency they've been showing.
How much danger do you think Todd Bowles is in if they don't go at least 6-1?
I think he's in some serious danger. I think the Glazers and I think the front office, they want to see some progress this year, and missing the playoffs for the first time since 2019 would not be progress. Not going if they finish 9-8 again, that's not progress. Especially, last year they went to the divisional round and were maybe a quarter away from playing for the NFC Championship game. Then they bring everybody back, and then free agency supposedly get better. And I know the injuries are going to be, I don't even say an excuse. It's a legitimate reason for some of the issues they're having, but I don't know that goes far enough to save Todd Bowles from losing a shot.
Yeah, we'll see how it shakes up as the season goes on here, and the Bucs have their, as I said, much-needed bye, even though Pat seems to disagree with me on that one.
No, they need it. I just think they could have used it a little earlier.
At Bailey J. Adams 22 is how you find them. PewterReport.com. PewterReport.com. Some great stuff over there with everyone at Pewter Report. Bailey, thanks so much. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Bailey.
Yeah, man. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here with Todd Bowles down the stretch, but he really is. I mean, have you ever seen Todd Bowles get too high or too low one way or the other?
No, it's just not who he is.
It's not who he is. He's just an even-keeled coach, so we'll see how that goes. Hey, guess what's coming?
Hey.
Guess what's starting next week? Guess what's coming back a week from today? Live it up at the Downs. Tampa Bay Downs is back, baby. That's right.
I was hoping you didn't think I had the answer. I wasn't sure.
You don't need to have the answer. We all know the answer. We're talking about the best live thoroughbred racing around. Tampa Bay Downs. It's so exciting. And you know how much I love it. I'm out there. I'm waiting for the season to start. And I know some of the listeners, the goons out there, have seen me out there. And we talked about getting out there. And we're going to do it this year. And
I'm excited too.
You should be, because it's Wednesday. And when it opens up next week, Wednesday is free. You cannot beat that. Wednesday admission is free. General parking is always free. You've got some great things. It's always opening at 11 o'clock, post time around 12:15. The $125,000 inaugural stakes, the Sandpiper Stakes, that's coming up in December on December 7th.
Oh, you're all over that.
Let's go. December 14th, the Florida Thoroughbred Breeders and Owners Association City of Ocala, Florida Sire Stakes. There's so much going on. It's very exciting. It's easy to get to, Racetrack Road in Oldsmar, and you can find out more information, TampaBayDowns.com. But do not miss the beginning of this, because we're going to go out there, we're going to win some money, and especially on on Wednesday when it's free. You go out there for free, you leave with money. It's as easy as that. Only at Tampa Bay Downs, TampaBayDowns.com. All right, on the other side, it's time for a little over-under on the Pat and Aaron Show.
WDAE
Traffic update.
This report is sponsored by eBay.
Find our crash off to the right-hand side on northbound 275 on the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. It's just before the mid-span and traffic slow from the toll plaza. Also, we're seeing delays southbound 75 from 275 to 301. Crash in the Lakeland area on westbound I-4 just before the western end of the Polk Parkway. The right lane is blocked there. Crash in Tampa southbound 56th Street near Hannah. Get traffic info around the clock by searching News Radio WFLA on iHeartRadio. I'm Randy Myers.
We all got a thing. Yes, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
At Rivard Buick GMC, our hearts go out to everyone affected by the recent storms. We understand the challenges of rebuilding. And if a new or a used vehicle is a part of that journey, Rivard is here for you. Rest assured, the massive discounts you're accustomed to remain, regardless of inventory levels. While many dealers may raise prices based on availability, Rivard stands firm and is committed to supporting our community through this tough time. Visit RivardBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Were you recently hurt while riding in a Lyft or an Uber? You could be entitled to compensation. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, has dedicated attorneys who fight to get you more. Don't let this slip by.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Here's another great reason to use the United States Postal Service this season. When sending a package, why venture outside? Ship with USPS for a true holiday ride. Want to stay cozy and warm? There's no need to roam. With free package pickup and labels printed from home. We have over 600,000 employees always in motion. And before you know it, your gift has delivered emotion. Spread the holiday joy this season with USPS's Enhanced Network. Learn more at USPS.com/holiday ride.
WDAE wants to put a grand in your hand. 9 chances every weekday to win $1,000. Just listen for the nationwide keyword to enter at 953WDAE.com.
I am delighted to have one of my good friends here with me today. Guess who?
Ronnie, it's me, Elizabeth Holland, co-founder of the Holland Group Retirement Wealth Advisors. Our listeners are reaching out to us wondering how to protect their retirement accounts and plan for a more sustainable retirement. You're not alone if you're wondering the same.
Call us at 727-228-6449 to learn how we can help, or Google the Holland Group Retirement Wealth Advisors.
Can't get to a radio? Download the free iHeartRadio app and take WDAE anywhere you go. Presented by the law offices of Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This report is sponsored by AllureRoofing.com.
Mix of sun and cloud today, more sun than cloud. It's going to be hotter, high right around 86. Overnight, partly cloudy. The low will drop back to about 69. Tomorrow, Thursday, a little cooler. Mostly sunny, our high right around 83. Get weather info around the clock by searching News Radio WFLA on iHeartRadio. I'm John Thomas.
For 25 years, Allure Roofing has been your trusted expert. They specialize in both residential and commercial roofing. Their insured and bonded team are here for all your roofing needs, including emergency tarping. Visit AllureRoofing.com or call 386-222-2909 to learn more.
Take WDAE with you anywhere you want with a free iHeartRadio app and using your Alexa. Now, back to the Pat and Aaron Show on WDAE, streaming live on Alexa and the free iHeartRadio app.
Game over.
Under.
See, I told you it was over. Are you ready?
Time for Over Under, brought to you by HowardTeamHomeLoans.com. Casey Warner sets the lines. And I know, Casey, I'm looking at these lines, some good ones. I just saw you take a big yawn. You're full on. You look like you're about to go do warm-ups for the Kentucky Wildcat basketball team.
Yeah, man.
And I know you had a late one. You watched that game late last night.
That's right. Yeah, I told you all before the show. I thought I conked out at about 12:30. I guess it ended up being about 1, and I was...
You texted Pat and I group text at 1 a.m.
Wait, I didn't get that text.
You didn't get that?
No.
It was a Cooper Flag text at 1 a.m.
I'm still on cloud 9, man. There's nothing like beating Duke if you're a Kentucky fan. It's great.
This morning, Casey told us, I was like, what time did you go to bed? He's like, around 12:30. I was like, no, you didn't. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, you sent us a text around 1. He's like, did I? You didn't even remember.
You sure it's a group text?
Yeah, I'm sure.
So weird. The last thing I got was you saying nice to him telling us we were getting Bernard Gooden.
We got a
USF this week.
We got a 1 a.m. text from Casey Warner, and it's just a tweet about Cooper Flag with the game on the line, and it's just a dog urinating on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd be that way. All right, so let's get to over-under here. We had the college football playoff second 12-team ranking out last night in between those Champions Classic games, and there are 4 Big Ten teams in the top 5 of those rankings. So over under 3.5 Big Ten teams in the college football playoff at the end of the season.
I said to Aaron when we got these from you that I thought you were kind of crazy to ask if it would be over under 3.5 because there are 4 in the top 5. I think it's over easily.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's over for sure. I think, Indiana's undefeated right now. Oregon's undefeated, the 2 undefeated teams in the country. I think Oregon's getting in, unless it's a mighty collapse. I don't see it happening. Oregon's getting in. Ohio State looks really good right now. Penn State's hanging around. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go over on that one.
Big Ten. Getting big teams in the playoff. All right, so we're moving on to the Kansas City Chiefs, who are undefeated currently. 4.5 games until the Kansas City Chiefs lose their first game. They got Buffalo this week, a couple of cupcake games, and then the Chargers in about 4 weeks. So those 2 are probably the highest chance that they're going to lose.
I don't even need to look at the schedule. I'm going to go under. This team is eking out wins. They're not covering spreads. They're winning 1-score games. And in this league, I don't care how good you are. Eventually, you're going to lose that 1-score game. That's the law of averages. So I'm going to have to, and I wouldn't be shocked if they lose to Buffalo. So I'm going to go under 4.5 games for them.
Buffalo's the game because if not, Panthers, Raiders, Chargers, Browns. I know the Chargers.
I can see the Chargers doing it.
You know what? No, I can't. I'm going to take the over. I think it ends up being Houston or Pittsburgh late in the season.
Don't forget, one of the few Ravens losses this year was to the Raiders.
Fantastic.
You just never know. Yeah. Fantastic.
You never know, but I think the Chiefs keep winning.
All right, let's move on here to Thursday Night Football tomorrow. Huge matchup, the Washington Commanders and Philadelphia Eagles. Can't wait to see that NFC East showdown. So over under 220.5 passing yards for Jaden Daniels.
You throw the ball a lot when you're trailing, and I think they're going to be trailing for a good portion of this game. I mean, I like Washington and what they're doing, but I think Philadelphia is going to give them a lot of trouble. I think Jaden Daniels is going to have to throw the football around. I will take the over.
See, I disagree. I think it's going to be a ground game, and I think Washington's going to try to control the clock. And you never know what the Eagles and what Sirianni's going to be able to do in the middle of controlling and managing a game. I'm going to say it is a close game. I'm going to say Jaden Daniels is using his feet, and the ground game is moving for Washington, and he's going to be around that number, around 200. I think it's a close game. I don't know who wins it yet. I haven't decided.
A lot easier to throw the ball against Philadelphia than run the ball against him.
I'm going to go under on that one. Yeah, that's true. That's true. What do we? But listen, the Ravens had a great run defense, bad pass defense, and the Bucs ran the ball just fine against the Ravens.
Well, the Bucs are one of the better running teams in football.
That's true when they use all 3. What's the line in that game?
I'm not sure what the line is. I know that I was looking at the player props, and Jalen Hurts has the same exact over-under on the Hard Rock app for passing yards. I've never seen that before. They're both at 220.5, so that's pretty interesting.
The same where in the Hard Rock?
Passing yards, player props.
Let's see. That line is...
so you made that up, and they had the same exact one on the app?
I didn't make that up. I used the Hard Rock to set that line.
Philly is a 3.5-point favorite at home.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
All right. Next up, got to do this one right here. Over under 10.5 losses for the New York Jets at the end of the season, sitting currently at 3-7.
I mean, they're a really bad football team. They're just collapsing. Their season's like Aaron Rodgers was laughing on Pat McAfee yesterday, being like, "Well, probably we still we're not mathematically eliminated."
He's the worst teammate.
He's the worst person. He sucks.
Whoa. What? Not a great person. He's the worst.
No, but
person.
as a person, as far as guy I want to root for, guy I want to hang with, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is any of that. I mean, he's not
No,
the
he
worst
sucks,
person.
but there are much worse people.
You know what I mean. He sucks. Ultimate sucks. So, yeah, you've got the Colts. They could lay a stinker. You never know. Joe Flacco's, I believe, playing as the announcement they made yesterday. So, yeah, he'll probably do some magic. Seahawks, yeah, he'll kill him. Dolphins, Tua will go off for 800 yards. Trevor Lawrence comes back, revival of his life against the Jets when the Jags play him. Stafford just becomes Super Bowl Stafford again when
So
they
you're
play
saying
the Rams.
first overall pick?
I'm saying, and then Jets
14.
Bills, then Jets Dolphins. You know what? At this point, go for it. Except there's no quarterback to get.
What,
Whatever.
Daniel Jones?
Doesn't matter. No.
Because they're getting rid of him in New York on the other side.
The Jets will never win. It's never going to happen. The Mets will never win. And,
So over?
Over.
Over. I'm going to take the over as well. The Jets are bad, and their schedule is, it's not that tough, but it's tough enough that I think they lose at least 4 more.
Oh, all right. One more over-under here. 15.5 1,000-yard rushers in the NFL this season. There were 12 last season, 16 in 2022, and there are 20 currently on pace for 1,000 yards. You must average 59 yards per game if you play 17 in this season to get 1,000.
I'll take the over. I think that the running game has become a much bigger part of the game because safeties are staying back because they don't want to give up the explosive plays. And we've seen a bit of a resurgence in running. And you said 20 are on pace now. Yeah, I'll take the over.
Yeah, the top 10 guys are already like 3 or 4 games away from reaching that mark. Derrick Henry already has over 1,100 yards rushing. He's got 1,100 yards and 12 touchdowns. He scores a touchdown every freaking game. It's actually insane what that guy is doing. The 2 guys who are leading the league in rushing and are dominating this year are the 2 guys that I'm like, I don't know if that's the move you want to make.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley.
I don't know why you said it about. Like, I get the
You
Henry
knew it.
thing. Yeah, I get the Henry thing because of the age. Although I did think it was just a perfect fit for him in Baltimore.
Perfect fit for him to score a touchdown.
I didn't understand why you thought that about Saquon. I know he hasn't exactly been the most durable player, but he's shown that he's special behind awful offensive lines, and now you're seeing what he looks like behind a good one.
Just never know the shelf life with them. And then I'm looking at Derrick Henry and like, I didn't think
Saquon's not old, dude. He's coming off his first contract.
I know, but still, the shelf life on these running backs. Go look at a lot of the guys that have dealt with injuries. Go back to the days of.
Look at Ezekiel Elliott. He's not even 30.
Yeah, like a lot of these guys.
Cook's long gone.
What about? I can't believe I'm forgetting
Todd
his name.
Gurley.
Todd Gurley. Thank you, your guy, Todd Gurley.
Yep.
Like, dude, that
sold his jersey.
Injuries happen, and you can fall off.
Saquon's had injuries, but he hasn't had catastrophic injuries.
True, but sometimes I'm not. Listen, that's why we talk to our doctors on Thursdays at Florida Orthopedic Institute.
I've been listening to them. That's why I knew Saquon was going to be good.
I thought Derek would be able to get in the end zone. I didn't realize he'd be going off for 1,100 this 10 games into the season.
Did you see the Bartow Ford DAE text line?
Somebody just said I can't wait. I can't wait till Doug finds out whatever that means.
Yeah.
You asked Sean Mania, Mets or Yankees. I can't wait to talk to Doug about this. I mean, this was the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to me. And if you missed it, it happened to me yesterday, and I'm still not, or 2 days ago.
2 days ago, yeah.
I'm still not over it. And I still haven't seen him yet.
It's ridiculous that it's bothering you.
I just got to talk to him. If you missed the story, you'll hear it with Doug in the 8 o'clock hour. All right, Doug Waechter will join us in just a few minutes. Do we have any more on over-under? I think that was it. No, I think that was
we
it
do
for
not.
over. All right, there you go. There's over-under brought to you by HowardTeamHomeLoans.com. Speaking of Doug Waechter, he's here. So
walking in the building.
Pat, don't look at the text line, Doug. Don't look at the text line. Pat, if you could put the text line down, because I don't want Doug to see the reveal of the story. But yeah, I've got a story for Doug coming up here in just a few minutes. But before we do that, I mean, that's going to be coming up in the future. But I want to tell you about your future when it comes to retirement and how you have to plan for your future and make sure that you feel comfortable. You have an easy path to retirement. And that's where Trajan Wealth is going to come in and help you. They're here to help you reach your investment goals. And they tailor the goals to your specific needs by working closely with you. All they want at Trajan Wealth, like I said, is that path to retirement for you to be easy and comfortable. Whether you're ways away from retirement or it's just around the corner for you, never too early, never too late to start planning for your retirement. You'll have questions. Will you have enough money when you retire? How long will that money last? Trajan Wealth, they're going to have answers for you. And it starts with that phone call today, a free initial consultation, 813-550-1000. That's 813-550-1000. 550-1000, and you can check them out online, TrajanWealth.com, a family-owned and veteran-led business by Jeff Jr., who's been doing it for over 2 decades. So if you want a face-to-face appointment, easy, right down the street from you, located in Tampa. If you want a virtual appointment, if that's more comfortable for you, they'll do that at Trajan Wealth because they're in it for you. 813-550-1000, TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement. Waechter Wednesday. Doug Waechter is in the house. We'll talk with him about the Trop. Plus, I got a story for him coming up next. And if you haven't heard it, you'll definitely want to hear it. It was very embarrassing for me.
The Player of the Night, presented by Rivard Buick GMC.
Great night of college basketball at the State Farm Champions Classic. The Kentucky Wildcats upset the number 6 Duke Blue Devils 77-72, led by forward Andrew Carr. He had 17 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and was 2 of 3 from the three-point line. Andrew Carr is your Rivard Buick GMC Player of the Night. Rivard Buick GMC, no games, no gimmicks, no hidden fees. Check out that inventory easily at RivardBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade. I am Casey Warner, and this is 95.3 WDAE and AM 620.
Sponsored by HowardTeamHomeLoans.com.
With its new look and taste, Dasani is always crisp, clean, and refreshing. So, when thirst calls, answer with the new refreshed taste of Dasani water, now without salt. Learn more at Dasani.com.
Ronnie Lane here, and when I'm not talking sports, I'm talking about ways to keep my hard-earned dollars in times like these. That's why I'm personal friends with Steve and Elizabeth Holland, co-founders of the Holland Group Retirement Wealth Advisors. I was able to get Steve to tune in and mention what he and his Holland Group family do for their clients. Take it away, Steve.
Hey, thanks a lot, Ronnie. You know, we have built a clean business for over 30 years, creating thousands of customized, inflation-adjusted, tax-advantaged, comprehensive retirement plans, and we were the first company in Tampa Bay to do it. That competitive edge has enabled us to hone in on our craft. You know, Ronnie, we have never had a client return their retirement plan and say, hey, this doesn't work.
Steve, I believe it. Folks, check out my friends by Googling the Holland Group Retirement Wealth Advisors. They have solid reviews online you can read, which matters enormously.
Hey, it's Mark with PG Men's Health. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? We've got a groundbreaking solution that's transformed the lives of thousands of men. Our acoustic wave technology is backed by over 50 clinical studies, including research from Cambridge University. It revitalizes blood flow by repairing blood vessels, all without the need for pills or the worry of side effects. If you're ready to get the blood flowing where you want it, when you want it, call us now. Not only will you get the exam, the assessment, even the blood flow ultrasound completely free, but for those who call today, we're also throwing in your first treatment free. This is worth hundreds of dollars, and it's yours free if you call in the next 2 minutes. Call 813-769-0890. That's 813-769-0890. Guys, it's time to reclaim your love life and put an end to your erectile dysfunction. Call 813-769-0890. Locations in both Tampa and Sarasota. Call PG Men's Health now to qualify. 813-769-0890.
The Hampton Chocolate Factory is a one-stop Tampa shop for the holidays. Enjoy their viral giant cone ice cream and artisan chocolate. Elevate your corporate gifts this year with personalized messages and customized logos with luxury gift boxes and baskets. Don't stress about gifting this year. Check out HamptonChocolateFactory.com and let their chocolate elves do the heavy gifting for you. Happy holidays from the Hampton Chocolate Factory, home of the giant cone ice cream. This holiday season, go beyond decadent. HamptonChocolateFactory.com.
Right now, drive a Mazda with no payment for 90 days, and with rates coming down, many models at 0% financing. Find out more at Mazda of Clearwater on US 19, just south of Roosevelt and East Bay Drive, or go online to MazdaofClearwater.com.
Broadcasting from the Rude Air Conditioning Studios. The reigning, defending, and undisputed home of Tampa Bay sports talk for over 20 years. We are 95.3 FM W237CW Pinellas Park, 95.7 WRUB HD3 Clearwater, 96.7 FM W224BE Brandon. and the mighty 620 WDAE St. Petersburg. Streaming live right now on your free iHeartRadio app. All your sports, music, talk, and podcasts. Hey, Tampa Bay. Free has never sounded so good. The biggest guests and analysts from around the world of sports. The Dan Patrick Show, coming up at 9. Now, back to the Pat and Aaron Show on WDAE. Streaming live on Alexa and the free iHeartRadio app.
Pat and Aaron Show, 95.3 WDAE and AM 620. Hour number 3. And we've got a lot to get to when it comes to the Rays and what the hell's going on with their stadium and how the hell they're going to find a way to play this season and where they're going to play this season.
Yeah.
But first, Aaron has been freaking out a little bit. Because
for what?
For a very
he freaks
minor,
out every week. First of all, welcome back, man.
Thank you.
What have you been doing? Nothing?
Taking my vacation days, you know?
Just hanging out at the house.
Well, I had some things I had to take care of last week.
Okay. Anything fun?
No, not really a lot of fun.
2 weeks off, you did nothing fun. That's like asking my kids when we're done with school, hey, what'd you do today for 6 straight hours? Nothing.
Well, no, I didn't do nothing, but I had some things to take care of, but not a lot of fun, mostly hanging out. But Aaron's not having any fun recently because he's freaking out about a very minor faux pas, and he's dying to tell you about it.
Dude, you're going to kill me for this, Doug.
All right, I gotta hear it now.
He will.
Yes, I'll kill you no matter what.
No matter what.
Hopefully
that's
it's decent material.
So I get to my apartment on Monday after work, and I'm walking into my apartment, and somebody moved in directly across from me. Like I can see their door through my peephole. Saw them moving in.
Any noise, you just look through your peephole and just wonder if people are walking by.
Now I do. But he's directly across, and big guy. And he's getting his bike out to go on a bike ride. He just moved in, so I never do this. I went out of my way to be nice to introduce myself to him, which I usually go sneak into my apartment and just go hide. But I was like, I'm going to be a good neighbor. I've been going to HOA meetings. I'm going to be a good neighbor.
Really?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. So I went up to him. I introduced myself. I said, "Hi, I'm Aaron. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the neighborhood." He said, "Hi, I'm Sean." I'm so like sometimes I forget people's names right away. I even asked him his name again. What's your name again? Right. Sean.
Yeah. Is he your age?
He's around my age.
Okay.
Yeah. He's around my age, big guy. And I asked him, where'd you move from? He said, I moved from New York. Just got here from New York with my wife. So immediately the first question that comes to my head naturally is Mets or Yankees? And he looks at me like I have 3 heads.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, maybe he just hates baseball.
I got a feeling where this is going.
Yeah, it's like maybe this guy hates baseball. So I just kind of let it go, and the whole conversation goes on. He leaves. I start talking about golf. We're just having a normal conversation. He leaves. I see my neighbor walking down the hall, who I'm friends with. She's a sweetheart, and she comes up to me and she goes, "Oh, you met Sean? Everyone's talking about Sean." And I go, does people just talk about the guys that come into the building? Like, what's going on here? What's up with Sean? I said, no, I haven't heard anything. She goes, that's Sean Manaea of the Mets.
One of the most recognizable pitchers in the major leagues at this point in time, with all the tattoos,
the Mets,
with all the hair, with all the beard.
He cut the hair, right?
Did he cut the hair? Oh, that's right. He
cut the hair, shaved the beard.
He's also like 6'5".
I didn't realize how big. Like, he is a massive man. The tattoo now, when I look back, I'm like, but I don't look at a tattoo and be like, there's Manaea's tattoo.
Well, so you can't see it through the peephole.
I wasn't right. I wasn't thinking of it. So I haven't seen him since. I asked Sean Manaea if he's a Mets or a Yankees
terrible.
fan.
What do you do for a living?
I know.
Sports talk radio. You're from New York.
I've been a Mets fan for 34 years of my life.
Oh my God.
Doug.
This is
I've been
unbelievable.
a Mets fan for 34 years of my life.
Dude, what was it early morning? Like, did it catch you off guard?
No, like I guess I just don't look people in the eyes. I guess.
Ever?
Like, I don't know.
You cower down even when you meet people for the first time.
When they're that size,
He's so big.
Well, let's be honest. When Aaron usually meets guys, he's looking down first. You know what I mean? He's a big meat gazer.
Unbelievable. What's going on with you, man?
It's killing me. I feel I put 34 years of work to be a tough Mets fan just for the ace of the team this year and the best year ever to walk away going, he's not a real Mets
It's not how you start the year, it's how you finish, and you were just doing an absolutely terrible job.
Dude, I couldn't sleep the first night.
Not noticing First of all, you should be super pumped, right? You're a Mets guy. You're huge into the season. You're the one who was living and dying. We were talking about the Mets in the playoffs.
I know.
Like, oh, these are my guys. These are my guys.
Yeah, not really.
He was wearing a Mets hat every day when I came in here for how many days?
Doug,
and you don't even know who's pitching for him.
I'm scared to. I don't love to admit this on these airwaves.
Yeah, that's bad, man. I can't believe you confessed that.
I like teared up with this guy as he cried after Game 6 of the NLCS. I watched it.
I'll introduce
By the way,
you.
don't tell him that next. Don't let that be the next thing you tell him.
You know what, though? You meet Aaron, the initial thought is this is a guy that cries.
I weep.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a weeper.
Yeah, it's like you're not hiding that.
But you don't want to tell Mania that next. And by the way, I don't...
I'd ease into that conversation.
Yeah. Here's why I don't think you should be embarrassed or worried or anything. That dude would so much rather live across from somebody who doesn't recognize him than somebody who's like all over him because he's Sean Mania.
He's probably the first one who hasn't recognized him in Tampa.
Well, the thing is,
the Mets fan, the quote unquote Mets fan.
Dude, that's how I feel. I feel like I don't deserve it. Like they sent me
I feel that way too.
They sent me spring training offer for tickets, and I'm like, no, I can't take these. I'm not a Mets fan. I'm not a guy.
I'll introduce you to some Rays.
So I started to think about some of the guys that I talked to.
I'm sure you won't recognize them.
Well, those guys I talked to in the clubhouse, but even then I was trying to think about it. Like if I saw Aaron, like I know he's not on the team anymore, but like Aaron Savali, who I taled to a bunch. If I saw him without a hat on and he's just walking down the street, I talked to him a million times. I don't know if I'd recognize him.
Yeah, but Mania is different. Like
no.
Look at Mania,
he's way more recognizable.
That guy's one of the most recognizable guys in the big leagues right now.
Take his hat off, cut his hair. Not all of the hair, but shave the beard. He doesn't look exactly alike. I'm telling you,
dude.
You're making me feel worse.
He's not as generic as Aaron Savali. Aaron Savali's got a very generic look.
True, but yeah. Either way, embarrassing moment. I do like the fact that he doesn't like. I didn't look at him. I just was nice. For the first time in my life, I feel like I was actually nice without knowing. Like I didn't know. I just wanted to be nice.
You typically would have big leagued him.
Like, no, I don't big league people, but I just don't go out of my way to like, if somebody's down the hall, I'm not going to go out of my way to talk to him. He was getting in the elevator, but I was like, I'm going to introduce myself. He just moved into the building. Now, though, he knows I'm a Mets fan.
Does he know you work in sports radio?
No, I'm going to tell him everything. But the good thing for him is I'm not a fanboy.
I'm going to tell him everything. I'm sure he can't wait to sit down and talk to you again.
Well, the thing is, I'm not a fanboy anyway because of the business that we're in. I've talked to so many athletes that I think it's awesome that he lives there, but like, it's not somebody I'm going to go knocking on his door or hounding him. I have no need to do that. Don't want to do that to anybody because I don't want anybody to do that to me.
I think people
do you
should
get a lot of autograph seekers coming up to you?
Oh yeah, Aaron's place all the time. Every time I'm there, I see somebody asking Aaron for an autograph.
No, not autograph seekers. No, I'm talking door knockers. Like even my
people come up to your door and want to talk to you about your job.
No. Like even my neighbor.
No way. Dude.
If my neighbor's not about my job, just about life. Like I feel like in an apartment life, like there is like this unspoken thing where unless you really need somebody, don't just be knocking on their door to chat.
Right.
Yeah, it's not just about apartments. That's anywhere.
Like, yeah, but in apartments we're so close to each other that like it could be easy to go over to my neighbor and knock on the door if I wanted something. Or
I feel like it's still equally weird. Like I've lived in apartments. To me it would be equally weird to go knock on a neighbor's door than it is at their house.
Can we go back to the fact that you use your people? I've never used a people. I didn't know they still had them on doors.
When I have like,
I'm not that scared of people.
When DoorDash comes, I have instructions. This is how much I don't want to interact with people. I have instructions with DoorDash to drop my food off and walk away. So
everyone has that. That's not you.
No, some people like to talk and chat and get their food in exchange. I look through the people to watch them leave.
Can you
and
imagine
that's when I get my food.
Aaron Jacobson on his tippy toes, like looking through a peephole and
no
just
tippy
wondering.
toes.
Yeah, you do, bro. You have a stool?
No, I have to bend my knees.
I always wait for the guy to walk away too. And like a few nights ago, I had a guy show up at my door and just stand there and stand there and stand there, and he wouldn't leave. And I'm like, what the hell? And I open the door and he's just got the weirdest look in his face. And he's like, DoorDash? And I'm like, great, dude, get the hell out of here. What are you doing? Like, you weirdo.
I asked the ace of the Mets if he's a Mets or a Yankees
I think
fan.
you got to pull your Mets fan card.
Ugh.
It's over. He's full-fledged Rays fan now. That's all he is a Rays fan. Speaking of being a Rays fan, there's a lot for us to figure out with the ballpark, as well as where they're going to play this season, because it won't be at that ballpark. It's all coming up on the Pat and Aaron Show with Doug Waechter. But first, protect your home now with Impact Windows from Reese Windows and Doors, and they are a proud supporter and fundraiser for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And at Reese, most Impact Windows are installed in just 6 to 8 weeks. For your free quote now, check them out, reesewindows.com. That's reesewindows.com.
WDAE.
Traffic update.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores.
A crash on Harn Boulevard just west of US 19. Also seeing delays on southbound 275 near Gandy and southbound Veterans. A bit slow now near Waters and towards the airport. Westbound I-4, it's slow just west of Lakeland approaching the Polk Parkway. The right lane is blocked there. Seeing delays westbound Selman approaching downtown Tampa and northbound 275 from the Skyway Toll Plaza to around mid-span. Get traffic info around the clock by searching News Radio WFLA on iHeartRadio. I'm Randy Myers.
Staples has amazing deals on everything you need for the holidays. From custom holiday cards and photo gifts to laptops and gaming systems, even shipping solutions. And now save up to $350 on select computers. In-store only. Offer ends 11/16. Unwrap huge holiday savings at Staples.
At CMK Construction, we've always believed that home is where the heart is. And after the storm, it's the heart that brings us all together. From remodeling kitchens and bathrooms to refreshing the spaces that matter most, we're committed to helping you restore your home better and stronger than ever. Whether it's a transformation, repairs, or simply lending a hand, we're here for you. For over 20 years, we take pride in the same neighborhoods we call home. Because at CMK, we're not just remodeling houses, we're renewing dreams. Let's rise together, remodel together, and move forward, hand in hand. CMK Construction, proudly serving Tampa Bay and Sarasota communities. Call us today at 813-321-4426 or visit cmkconstructioninc.com. Together, we'll make tomorrow brighter.
Log on now to the contest page at 953WDAE.com for your shot to beat the pro on the drive this Friday, where you could qualify for a 5-night stay in an oceanfront suite, plus airfare, food, and a free round of golf at the Buccaneer Resort in St. Croix. No passport required, just bring your A game. Hit up the contest page now and register to beat the pro on Tampa Bay's home for football. 95.3 WDAE and AM 620.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Doors take us to summers away or winter adventures and afternoon getaways. Your dedicated Fidelity advisor can help you open those doors by working with you on a comprehensive plan to help you reach your wealth's full potential. Because doors were meant to be opened. Visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimum supply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE SIPC.
Skip the hassle and sell your home with the strongest cash offer this fall. The Guaranteed Offer from Mark Spain Real Estate is the easiest way to sell your home. Hey, it's Aaron Jacobson here, and with the Guaranteed Offer, you can skip the uncertainty and sell your home fast for all cash in as little as 21 days. Mark Spain Real Estate has been serving families for nearly 30 years and have helped over 58,000 satisfied clients. Trust the top real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home fast and for maximum profit. Go to markspain.com and find out what your Guaranteed Offer would be today and start packing.
WDAE with What's Up Tampa Bay.
The LPGA Tour is returning to Tampa Bay with the Annika, driven by Gainbridge at Pelican, taking place November 13th to the 17th at Pelican Golf Club. Grab yours today at theannika.com. Think you know football better than T-Crass? Register now to beat the pro on Pick'em Friday to win a 5-night luxury stay at the Buccaneer Resort in St. Croix.
Stay on top of everything going on at 953WDAE.com.
The free iHeart app goes everywhere you do. Even better, when you plug your phone into Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, the app becomes part of the dash with a seamless way to listen to your favorite radio stations, the latest must-hear podcast, or a custom playlist to get you focused. Try Apple CarPlay or Android Auto with the iHeart app today.
Get ready, golf fans! The LPGA is returning to Tampa Bay when the Annika, driven by Gainbridge at Pelican, takes over Pelican Golf Club November 13th through 17th. Join us for a week packed with excitement as the world's best female golfers, including former champions Nelly Korda and Lilia Vu, compete for glory. Choose from daily grounds passes starting at just $25 or enjoy the Lightning Lounge with complimentary food and drinks. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at theanica.com and be part of the action.
Live it up at the Downs. Tampa Bay Downs is back in season. The best live thoroughbred racing around. Admission is free on Wednesdays. That's right, free on Wednesdays, only at the best of the best Tampa Bay Downs. Racetrack Road in Oldsmar, TampaBayDowns.com.
Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell.
Mix of sun and cloud today, more sun than cloud. It's going to be hot. Our high right around 86. Overnight, partly cloudy. The low will drop back to about 69. Tomorrow, Thursday, a little cooler. Mostly sunny, our high right around 83. Get weather info around the clock by searching News Radio WFLA on iHeartRadio. I'm John Thomas.
The slow-roasted Cantina chicken menu is here to stay with ingredients like purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. Try it today at a participating U.S. Taco Bell location while supplies last. Contact store for participation, which varies.
Follow WDAE on social, Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Now, back to the Pat and Aaron Show on WDAE. Streaming live on Alexa and the free iHeartRadio app.
Pat and Aaron on a Waechter Wednesday. Doug Waechter hanging out in studio with us today. And we've been talking a lot about Aaron Jacobson and his not being able to know who Sean Manaea is, but we got to get to the Rays and what we all don't know, which is where they're playing baseball this season. Doug, we saw the report yesterday. I don't know how much of it you got to see. $56 million to fix Tropicana Field after Hurricane Milton. And what I was saying to Aaron earlier, and I'm curious your thoughts on, for Major League Baseball, forget about for the Rays, forget about for St. Petersburg, for Major League Baseball, $56 million is a drop in the bucket. Why wouldn't Manfred and Major League Baseball step up and say, you know what, St. Petersburg, Rays fans, you've been through enough with 2 hurricanes and this natural disaster that you're dealing with. We're going to step in and pull out what's a drop in the bucket for us and help you out with this baseball stadium. I don't understand why Manfred wouldn't do that.
Look, I mean, Manfred, you're talking about a guy who runs an entire league. He's speaking for all the franchises, all 30 franchises.
But it's best for baseball. It's not just best
vote
for
on.
right?
I don't know what would go into that.
Don't you think though that it would be best for baseball, not just best for the Rays?
Well, I mean, look, it's a great thought. I don't know if it would happen. I don't know if it's practical. I don't know what would go into that. That's something like that. I don't remember ever happening, but I also don't remember ever seeing a team have to go through what the Rays are going through right now, right? Yeah. So many question marks, man. It's just unfortunate. First of all, just reading the article, the one thing that jumped out at me is the fact that, it's easy to look back and second guess
Yeah, we were talking about it.
Man, the insurance policy, right? You're talking about the insurance policy, and you're like, wow, this could have been covered.
What they did was what Doug's talking about, and here's the line that I saw in the Tampa Bay Times that just jumped out to me.
Yeah,
the city is the landlord and responsible for repairs to the stadium and already has filed an insurance claim. The city policy includes a $22 million deductible and $25 million of coverage, reduced in March from $100 million, so the city could save $275,000 in premium payment.
I mean, you talk about an ultimate backfire, right? So for 26 seasons, the Rays have been insured, or not the Rays, Tropicana Field has been insured by the city of St. Pete, I believe. That's what I'm reading between the lines. That's why I kind of think I'm looking.
3 more years to do those payments.
Yeah, I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at, the decision to pull back and try to save, which I get it as, if you're running a city. What I'm saying is, if you're running a city, you're trying to see where you can save some money. All right, I'm sure that's what they were thinking.
That you can certainly understand.
And for 26 straight years, they've never had an issue like this. Well, man, you talk about something that just crushes.
It's like
that right there. And look, again, it doesn't matter at this point. It's gone, right? The move was already made. It's just that's what jumped out at me at the article. I'm like, oh God, we were so close to just having insurance take over and knock this thing out. Now there's a lot of questions, right? There's a lot of questions. The deductible, my God, over $20 million in a deductible. The damage done. How quickly can they get this settled and move forward and get the Trop ready? I think I read in the article that if they start, they might be able to do it by All-Star break. Is that right?
Oh, I heard. Didn't they say 2026?
Or am I
Be
right?
ready till
Is it 2026?
That's
Okay,
what I'm
yeah.
hearing.
Okay,
Yeah.
so one of the okay. So say this year coming up. Okay, you're not going to be able to do it. I think it's going to come down to how much money do you put in to the Trop, knowing that of course it's going to be demolished in 3 years. But also, how much money do you lose as a franchise if you're playing in a minor league team or minor league stadium for 3 straight years, right? I mean, this ultimately comes, partially a numbers game. So it's a lot. It's a lot to speculate on what they're going to do. It's a lot of decisions they're going to have to make. Meanwhile, we're reading, and I don't get any inside information. I'm just reading along with everybody else that, of course, MLB wants them to stay in Tampa. The last thing they would want is for them to move out of Tampa because they want to keep this market where it's at. They want the fans to be able to come watch their team. It's easier if the Rays can make it work in Tampa. They don't have to, move employees. They don't have to relocate all these different things, relocate the team. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it.
So many questions.
You're going into and playing another stadium for at least 1 to maybe 3 years.
Do you think Steinbrenner's doable?
Yeah. I mean, for the short term,
because it would be
you can make anything work. Yeah. I'm assuming for a year,
but the weather.
Yeah, look,
you've talked to us about Miami.
I played in Miami in an open air stadium. Right, we played the majority of games without a rain out.
How similar?
At 7 o'clock, you're not getting a ton of rain at 7 o'clock.
How similar is the weather Miami to Tampa?
Very similar. It's almost identical.
You
I know
just
it's
said
hotter there.
You said a lot of your practices were getting rained out.
Yeah, but I mean, you have so many facilities around. You have indoor underneath. You have ways to get work in. It's not that big a deal, and so they can make it work. There's a Florida State. There's a Florida State league that these guys are playing every day. That's their season. Yeah. They work around rainouts. It's part of baseball. We're not the only state that gets rain. By the way, I mean, there's rainouts happening all over the nation. So, I think they can make it work, right? And you're talking about 1 year. So, yes.
But it might be more than that.
It might be. Yeah, you're right.
I think they should just move on.
So you don't think they should do the Trop at all?
Demolish the Trop now. Start moving on and really ramp up that timeline and move it up. I know that I heard Mark Topkin talk. He talked with T-Kreis yesterday and said actually they'd move it back and they would do an extra year at the Trop if they were to do the repairs to the Trop. Don't even do that. Move the timeline up, accelerate it, and let's get going on the new stadium. Demolish the Trop, and that way you don't have to worry about the logistics of how you're going to play there while you construct. Just construct.
I'll tell you what. I did not realize it was this high. Steinbrenner Field seats 11,000 people, just over 11,000 people. I mean, when you consider the Rays' attendance, obviously they can go beyond that a lot of games, but there's a lot of games that they don't. I feel like Steinbrenner, to me, feels like the perfect situation for the Rays.
Well,
it's in Tampa Bay. Gives a lot of people an option to go that haven't been able to go or don't want to go to St. Petersburg.
There's a lot that factors into that, though.
The Yankees. How about the Yankees that own it?
Yeah,
Of course.
first of all, them. MLB would have to step in.
But that would be the case for any minor league ballpark with the exception of our own. Outside of Port Charlotte, you're stepping into somebody else's ballpark in every other scenario. So why not this one?
Yeah.
You know what, Yankees, you don't like it? Get the hell out of Tampa.
Yeah.
No, that's not going to happen.
Well, I know it's not, but listen, Major League Baseball has to step in and make them.
The Major League
somebody
Baseball, I'm
else,
sure, is involved.
Yeah.
I'm sure they are. Look, they have one of their clubs they don't have a home right now. So, yes, they are. I'm sure they're going to be involved. I was reading this texture that he's talking about why wouldn't they just leave it open air? And actually, this is a question I've gotten from a few people. Why not just leave it open? You got to think about it. Like, this place has never meant to be exposed to the elements.
There's no
ever.
drainage.
There's zero drainage in Tropicana Field. So it's like ripping the roof off your house, right? There's no drainage. Everything inside your house is not meant for getting wet, getting hit by rain, elements, all that. So
not built for that.
It's not built for that. You can't do it. Like there's no way. You have to either fix the roof and remediate everything inside or move on. I think those are your two choices.
There's so many questions. Like you said, there's just so many questions and really not a lot of answers. Not a lot for me.
I think the hardest part is that the Rays got to figure it out so quickly, right? They got to figure. Meanwhile, free agency is going to be going on. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, they still got to operate a business. I mean, there's so much getting thrown at the Tampa Bay Rays right now, and their front office. It's tough for them to handle all this together, but they're doing a pretty good job with everything thrown at them.
Let's continue the conversation on the other side. There's a lot of meat on the bone.
We will. We'll get into what the Rays could do this offseason on the field as well. But, it may not be offseason for you, but it may be time to create a new season for you and your loved one. You know what I'm talking about. Pop the question, and right now is the time to do it because the biggest and final store-wide sale of the year is coming next weekend at International Diamond Center on November 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Get extra savings store-wide and save up to 20% on virtually everything, or get 3 years zero-interest financing, and we're talking about extreme value. The best deals of the year on rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, pendants, designer jewelry, you name it. It's all on sale. And it's like double the selection with all of the industry's top designers here with their entire collections with everything on sale. We're talking about big name designers from New York and Los Angeles here with all of their new styles and all of their latest designs. Verragio, Simon G, and many more.
You don't want to miss it. It's a 3-day, $60 million event, lowest prices before the holidays, and that includes over 1,000 new diamonds purchased just for this event in all the hard-to-find shapes and sizes. You can't miss this, not this weekend, but next weekend, November 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, only at International Diamond Center in Tampa, Clearwater, Lakeland, and Sarasota, and you can get more details online at shopidc.com.
More on the Rays ballpark and, maybe even a little baseball coming up with Doug Waechter on a Waechter Wednesday.
From the Safe Touch Security Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores.
A crash on Harn Boulevard just west of US 19. Also seeing delays on southbound 275 near Gandy and southbound Veterans. A bit slow now near Waters and towards the airport. Westbound I-4, it's slow just west of Lakeland approaching the Polk Parkway. The right lane is blocked there. Seeing delays westbound Selman approaching downtown Tampa and northbound 275 from the Skyway Toll Plaza to around mid-span. Get traffic info around the clock by searching News Radio WFLA on iHeartRadio. I'm Randy Myers.
Staples has amazing deals on everything you need for the holidays, from custom holiday cards and photo gifts to laptops and gaming systems, even shipping solutions. And now save up to $350 on select computers. In-store only. Offer ends 11/16. Unwrap huge holiday savings at Staples.
It's been a tough few weeks with Hurricanes Milton and Helene. If you're like our guy John Howard and suffered extensive damage on your home and you're not quite sure how to get back to normal, give him a call. He's been researching options with insurance and grants and has a wealth of knowledge for others. He has renovation loans to get your home back to better than before, construction loans if you're deciding to rebuild, and loans for renters that do not require a down payment if you've been displaced. Find out more at howardteamhomeloans.com.
Lower LLC NMLS 1124061. Equal housing opportunity. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, it's Mark with PG Men's Health. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? We've got a groundbreaking solution that's transformed the lives of thousands of men. Our acoustic wave technology is backed by over 50 clinical studies, including research from Cambridge University. It revitalizes blood flow by repairing blood vessels, all without the need for pills or the worry of side effects. If you're ready to get the blood flowing where you want it, when you want it, call us now. Not only will you get the exam, the assessment, even the blood flow ultrasound completely free, but for those who call today, we're also throwing in your first treatment free. This is worth hundreds of dollars, and it's yours free if you call in the next 2 minutes. Call 813-769-0890. That's 813-769-0890. Guys, it's time to reclaim your love life and put an end to your erectile dysfunction. Call 813-769-0890. Locations in both Tampa and Sarasota. Call PG Men's Health now to qualify. 813-769-0890.
Shop Dell Technologies Black Friday event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Black Friday is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Check, check, and check. That's the sound of me getting a jump start on my holiday list. But I can't take all the credit. Kohl's makes it too easy. I got my daughter a mini instant camera, my husband his favorite cologne, my sister Kookaburra by UGG slippers, and that's just the beginning. Then I got 20% off some of my other gifts. Yep, it doesn't get better than Kohl's. Select styles. Offer valid to November 23rd. Coupons do not apply to tech, Sephora at Kohl's, and Kookaburra by UGG. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Some things in life you can just rely on, like the faithful friend who always comes when you call, your fishing buddies, and the tried and true performance of a new Ruud home AC system. So here's to reliability built into everything we do. Rely on Ruud. Get reliable cooling and comfort installed by a certified Ruud Pro partner. Go to RuudACFlorida.com to schedule service with a Ruud Pro partner today. That's RuudACFlorida.com. Powered locally by Ferguson HVAC.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell.
Mix of sun and cloud today, more sun than cloud. It's going to be hotter, high right around 86. Overnight, partly cloudy. The low will drop back to about 69. Tomorrow, Thursday, a little cooler. Mostly sunny, our high right around 83. Get weather info around the clock by searching News Radio WFLA on iHeartRadio. I'm John Thomas.
The slow-roasted Cantina chicken menu is here to stay, with ingredients like purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. Try it today at a participating U.S. Taco Bell location while supplies last. Contact store for participation, which varies.
The free iHeart app goes everywhere you do. Even better, when you plug your phone into Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, the app becomes part of the dash with a seamless way to listen to your favorite radio stations, the latest must-hear podcast, or a custom playlist to get you focused. Try Apple CarPlay or Android Auto with the iHeart app today.
Ronnie Lane here with my good friend Steve Holland, co-founder and CEO of the Holland Group Retirement Wealth Advisors.
You know, Ronnie, it's always great listening to you with the Buck season in high gear, and I'm amazed by the similarities, of course, between football and retirement planning.
How's that, Steve?
Well, you know, success begins with having a plan, managing the risk, and having a clear view of the whole field. And whether it's football or retirement planning, the best offense is a good defense. It's all about protecting and preserving your wealth no matter what.
You and your team at the Holland Group provide that kind of peace of mind to all your clients. You build them a comprehensive retirement plan, including investments, savings, and a mix of tax-advantaged strategies to get your clients over the goal line and into the retirement success end zone.
That's right, Ronnie.
So call the Hollands at 727-469-7939 or visit AskTheHollands.com. Let's make the rest of your life the best of your life.
Broadcasting live from the Ruud Air Conditioning Studios. This is Tampa Bay Sports Radio. 95.3 WDAE and AM 620. Powered locally by Ferguson HVAC.
Just under half an hour to go here on a Waechter Wednesday with Doug Waechter in the building on the Pat and Aaron Show. And we've been talking a lot about this stadium, and it's all very, very confusing. We don't know where they're going to play. We don't know if they'll ever be back at Tropicana Field. And there's some concern that this whole entire thing could blow up, Doug, and we might end up losing the team altogether. There's some new people on the St. Pete City Council. Some of them don't sound as excited about the new ballpark as a lot of us are. Are you at all worried that this thing might just cost us our baseball team? Because I know we are.
No, I'm not worried. I think that at this point, the Rays and the city have done such a good job moving the needle forward and getting the vote they needed initially and putting the project in place. Now, I understand that there's going to be another vote coming up. It was delayed because of the storms. I think the vote is, late November?
Yeah, it's November. Yeah, it's
21st. Does that sound right?
I believe
Somewhere
so. 20th or 21st.
It's just you got so many. Yeah. You got so many things going in the right direction. I personally don't feel like it's going to be held up, and maybe that's wishful thinking on my part as a resident of St. Pete, as obviously a Rays fan. That's just my thoughts on it. That's my hope.
Here's
November
the quote.
21st, by the way. You're right.
So I was right.
Here's the quote from Mayor Welch on the situation. Obviously, with the hurricanes, a lot of things have been reset. I think from the city's perspective, we're still on track to meet our current obligation and to participate in the new stadium at the historic gas plant. Probably the county is still on track. We're having conversations.
I don't like the probably.
It doesn't feel good.
I don't like the probably, but look, these are huge deals, right? These are extremely large deals. They take a lot of time. They take a lot of negotiation to get through. It seemed like prior to the storms that they had crossed the finish line on this deal. And now there's a little bit of a question mark. I understand that, but I'm hopeful that there's no delay and it moves forward.
I know you're a hopeful and not really a hindsight guy, but thankfully for the rest of us, I am a hindsight guy.
You're very skeptical about everything. You're looking through the peephole right now.
Yeah.
At this deal.
I'm peeping.
You're on your tippy toes looking through the peephole.
How could you?
Do you ever say tippy toes, by the way?
No.
Is that
He seems like a tippy toes guy, right?
Tiptoe.
I guess I would say if somebody was on their tippy toes, which doesn't happen often, I would say, "Are you on your tippy toes?"
Yeah,
I would do that.
Yeah,
Have
I
you
can just see you creeping,
looking
through the people?
They see him rolling.
I don't even know what I was going to say.
Yeah, I don't either. It's better this way. It's better this way.
I can't get over. I just can't. And I know you're not a hindsight guy. How do you, in a place where we deal with the hurricanes that we deal with, especially the last 5 years, how do you decide that you're going to take away the $275,000 insurance payment to save that money?
It's a big risk.
What?
The
Big
answer's
risk.
easy. I
It's
think what
idiotic. It's for the rest of the shelf life of the trop. It's combined less than $1 million, considering they were going to demolish that thing. It is so short-sighted that for us to just go, well, it's already done and there's nothing we can do about it. I mean, those are dumb decisions.
What else are you going to do?
I mean, we need to know who's voting on these decisions, because people that are that short-sighted to make a decision like that, instead of being like, what are we going to do? How about not let those people make those decisions anymore?
Well, you know what? That's a pretty easy thing to say, but I would just ask you who made the decision. I
would like to know.
Not individually.
I'm sure it came down to a vote, is my guess.
The people who made the decision.
The city.
What are their jobs?
Well, look, I mean,
not even a specific job. What are their jobs? The people who made this decision.
To save the city money, probably.
They're politicians.
They're trying to save city money on this move.
You make bad decisions. You don't. If you make bad decisions in your job, you lose your job.
But up to this point,
you've been working in political radio, Aaron.
Yeah,
you know that's not true.
I'm not playing devil's advocate here because, of course, I mean, even the people who voted on this are probably kicking themselves. I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? But for 26 straight years, how much have they really had to go into the insurance and put any claims together?
I don't know if they ever years left.
I agree. Look, I told you that's what stood out to me in the article, but again, it's hindsight, right? So it's like, man, there's no point in looking back at it and saying, I wish that didn't happen, because it did.
Yeah, but we talk about the Ken Welches because he's the mayor. We talk about Stu Sternberg because he's the owner. Like, these are decisions that did happen throughout the process that could impact greatly the future of this organization here. So, yes, I would like to know who's making those decisions, because I'm not saying they should be fired or cut or whatever, or not voted on, but I want to know what's happening and who's making, in my mind, mistakes along the way so I can vote properly.
I just can't. I agree with you that we should know who it is, and people should have that determine who they're voting for based on how they feel about it. But I just can't be shocked when I hear politician made a bad decision. Like, when you tell me a politician made a dumb decision, A, I'm not shocked, and B, I don't expect that person to lose their job, because I pay attention to, and you pay attention to politics. There's a lot of politicians making a lot of dumb decisions, and they're all still there.
Yeah, but if we're going to rip people at the top for their dumb decisions, I'd like to know what led to those dumb decisions being made, and it's little things like this.
Well, you know what it is. It's money. That's all it is. There's no other reason to do what they did.
If they had that insurance money, guys, they could pay this thing off easily. We could be talking about being in the trop next year.
It'd still probably be a deductible.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be as hard a hit on the city. And on the team, so you'd be able to repair this trop and move on.
If it's a $22 million deductible, it's a $22 million deductible. Unless, the $100 million would have covered everything, and we don't know that this will. So that's fair. But I don't know if the gap's that big between after the deductible, how much more they're going to have to cover.
Nobody knows what the policy was outside of the total payout, right? You don't know what they were paying. Well, I guess you do. The $276,000 is what they were saving. But, look, again, it's hindsight. At this point, it doesn't matter. Like, they got a problem solve.
Like, that's one game for Juan Soto.
Yeah, Juan Soto.
Maybe not even.
Juan Soto is, I don't know where he's going to
Where's he going to go? Somebody on the text line wants to hear from you.
You know what's funny? I saw that he followed the Rays on social media the other day.
Yeah, you're starting rumors
listen.
here.
No, all I'm saying is he followed the Rays.
They did
call
him.
I don't know what that means. They're going to check in on every free agent.
Better question. The fact that they've even checked, because none of us think they're going to sign Juan Soto and they're going to be the biggest bidder for Juan Soto, but the fact that they are at least kicking that bucket, right? That they're even looking into Juan Soto. What does that say?
Into everybody. They looked into Freddie Freeman. They looked into Aaron Judge. Like they look into everyone.
Do you think they'll be aggressive this offseason in trying to sign a couple big bats?
I think they're going to look for offense.
I
think they're going to look for offense. Everything that Neanders keeps talking about and everything, I would say they're going to be as aggressive as the Rays have been in the past, maybe. And that doesn't mean just necessarily paying for free agents. It might be creative by giving up some prospects.
Which they have a ton of now.
They now have a ton of them.
Yep.
So maybe you do it that way. Maybe you acquire people from giving up prospects in a trade. But either way, I just don't want to see Soto go to the Dodgers, man.
The Rays trade.
Can you imagine?
That would be awful. Imagine the Rays trade prospects for new stadium.
Is that your negotiation?
Rays trade prospects to fund new stadium. Just money.
That would be the most Tampa Bay thing ever.
Just give money to fund the stadium. That's it. I mean, we're in a bad situation.
I'm ready for baseball season right now.
Yeah, me too. I'm
you?
ready to.
Yeah, man.
I'm
always ready for baseball season.
I'd be ready if I had some kind of certainty about the Rays.
The Rays will figure it out. They always have. They're going to figure something out. This is, honestly, and maybe I am biased, I don't know. This is the smartest group of front office folks that I've ever met. It really is. And you can go down through every avenue when I say that. All right, well, how they run their business. They're highly intelligent. How they are on the field, like what they've done in baseball over the game. It's incredible. I know you're telling me to wrap it up.
That was kind of. Listen, we know.
How could you do that to Doug, Pat?
We knew a lot of smart people as well, including our friend Bob Hyde. I almost called him Doug Hyde. Bob Hyde from Suncoast Credit Union. Maybe just maybe the Rays need to reach out to Suncoast Credit Union because they're always giving back to our community, and maybe they had to have a really good idea on how to fix up the trop.
That's right. And when you're faced with the unexpected, like we're talking about now, your home's equity may be able to help you. Suncoast Credit Union, and they do great work with the Rays as well. So I know they're just as devastated as everyone else with what's happening with the Rays right now. But if you need to apply for a home equity loan, and you can here with Suncoast Credit Union, you're going to get a personalized review of your application. You're going to get into the best loan product for your needs, your budget. That's why at Suncoast, they cover up to $1,000 in closing costs so you can keep more money in your pocket. Apply online today at suncoast.com/restore. That's RESTORE. Suncoast.com/restore. Membership is required. Other terms and conditions apply.
All right, we'll wrap this show up on the other side. It's The Blender with Casey Warner catching us up on whatever we may have missed during today's show. Coming up next on The Pat and Aaron Show.
WDAE.
Traffic update.
Listening on the free iHeartRadio app? Thanks to Farah and Farah. It's never been easier to send your opinions directly to your favorite show. When you open the app, click the red talkback microphone and hit send. Farah and Farah, here to make it easy, Tampa.
I'm Ultima Morgan. Every year, almost 30,000 babies in America are born with birth injuries. It's every parent's worst nightmare. If your child suffered a birth injury, please call our firm to find out if we can help.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey guys, it's T. Kraz here for CMK Construction, the kitchen and bath experts. In the aftermath of the storms over at CMK, they know that home is where the heart is, and they want to bring everyone together by remodeling kitchens and bathrooms, also refreshing the spaces that matter most to you. CMK is committed to helping you restore your home better and stronger than ever before. They've been in business more than 20 years, luxury products, quality install, and guys, voted #1 again by readers of the Tampa Bay Times People's Choice Best of the Best Awards as the top kitchen and bathroom remodeling company in Tampa Bay. They've been doing it for more than 2 decades, so whether it's a transformation, repairs, or simply lending a hand, CMK Construction is there for you. So check them out. Let's rise together, remodel together. CMK Construction is where it's at. 813-321-4426. That's 813-321-4426. Or online, cmkconstructioninc.com. CMK Construction, the kitchen and bath experts.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day. And smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
The free iHeart app goes everywhere you do, because it's always on your phone and ready for whatever you're in the mood for. Even better, when you plug your phone into Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, the app becomes part of the dash with a seamless way to listen to your favorite radio stations, the latest must-hear podcast, or a custom playlist to get you focused. And with the holidays on the horizon, the app makes the perfect shopping companion while you search for the ultimate parking spot.
There it is!
Try Apple CarPlay or Android Auto with the iHeart app today.
iHeartRadio.
The Annika, driven by Gamebridge and Pelican Golf Club. Tickets and info at theannika.com.
The biggest guests and analysts from around the world of sports. The Dan Patrick Show. This morning at 9. Now, back to the Pat and Aaron Show on WDAE. Streaming live on Alexa and the free iHeartRadio app.
The Blender.
The Blender on the Pat Aaron Show is brought to you by Mazda of Clearwater. Make sure you go check them out if you're looking for a new or pre-owned vehicle. Right now, you can drive a Mazda for 90 days with no payment. Also want to remind you one last time, Doug Waechter, you might want to listen to this. If you go to our Instagram page, just yesterday I posted our contest with Meat and Bone, and you can win a lot of meat from Meat and Bone if you enter this contest on Instagram. And when I say a lot of meat, I'm talking ribeye, picanha, skirt steak, chorizo, hot dogs, a lot of meat.
Where's Meat and Bone located?
Right on Kennedy near Dale Mabry and meatandbone.com.
Yeah,
where
that's
you
right
get free
by my
delivery.
office. Yeah, I'm going.
You
I'm going to
should.
check it out.
Yeah, they got some delicious meats, man.
Yeah. Oh, hey, there's Casey.
Hey, what's up, man?
Dynamite dropping, Casey.
I had to let you get your time in, man. We got some good stuff on the drop from you, so glad to have that.
And I do want to congratulate. I mean, we already knew he was on to doing great things, and it's just starting for him. But your son getting a lot of offers, a lot of looks. I know he hasn't committed anywhere yet, but
we got one, maybe two more trips to go.
Is there a favorite in the clubhouse?
No, not yet.
Wow.
Well, at least he hasn't told me.
Yeah.
I will say he hasn't told me. But
so what's the deal? They have them putting on the uniforms and everything to make them see what they look like?
Yeah, it's a new thing. Like all the recruits, they put them in uniforms, and they have like professional photographers so they can send it out to social media. And it's like, it's a whole deal. So
they
we were
can't
just
use
up.
dancers anymore, so they got to.
We were just up. Well, I mean, he's checking out a good amount of schools. So he went to Florida State. He's been to Mississippi State. You know, he's going to Clemson to check them out. There's potential that he's going to LSU to check them out.
I only saw, and I'm sure he would look great in all those jerseys. I saw the picture of him in the Mississippi State uniform. Dude, kid looks like a ball player. He looks sharp.
I think that's going to be in any uniform, though. You know?
I know, but I just saw the Mississippi State, and I was like, well, that makes sense. That looks right.
It's fun. These recruiting trips are fun, man. They're, just seeing these schools, seeing these campuses for the first time, seeing the programs, what they have to offer. It's just pretty cool.
He's got such baseball hair.
He does. He has a mullet. I make fun of him because all the kids have mullets now, and I'm like, dude, you got a mullet. And he's like, no, it's not a mullet. This is how everybody wears their hair. I'm like, no, that's a mullet. You can call it whatever you want. It's a mullet. But it's
the mullet
big hair in the back, though. You got this like flow in the back.
Business in the front, party in the back. That's what they call it.
I think it's evolved though. Now we've got the mullet fade.
You know what?
Have you seen the mullet fade? I bet that's what your kid's doing is the mullet fade.
You know what BA called the mullet on a broadcast, on one of the Waechter Wednesday broadcasts this year? We were talking about hairdos. And we said the mullet, and I only think about this because Casey's wearing a Kentucky jersey. He called it a Kentucky waterfall. Dude, Kentucky waterfall. This guy's sporting a Kentucky waterfall. It was great.
All right, so we got to have a hat choosing ceremony though when your son picks. Can we do that?
Yeah. Let's take his role.
I'm sure he'd have fun with it, but yeah, sure.
You know, we should do it after he makes his official announcement with the hats. We should have him come in and do it again on the Pat show.
Perfect.
That's what we'll do.
Sounds great. All right. Awesome. So MLB Silver Slugger winners were announced last night. Mookie Betts and Jose Altuve led the way with their 7th respective Silver Slugger awards. Salvi Perez, Jose Ramirez, and Juan Soto each won their 5th. Bryce Harper, Aaron Judge, and Francisco Lindor took home their 4th, and Shohei Ohtani and Teoscar Hernandez won their 3rd apiece.
Mookie is so impressive to me. It doesn't matter where you want him to play. He'll play wherever you want. They say he's going back to the infield next year. Like that kid, for a guy that doesn't look like an ox, right? You got guys like Bryce Harper that really look the part. Guys, but Mookie just looks like this little guy you bring off the bench to maybe run the bases, but instead he's one of the best hitters we've ever seen.
Mookie's the type of guy that if you met him at your apartment, you wouldn't know who he was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's that guy.
He's that type of guy. Even if you're a huge Dodgers fan and you think the Dodgers are your favorite team ever, and
you ever seen him with that hat?
Yeah.
He's losing his hair.
Yeah. He can bowl.
He's
300
like
game.
300. I was just about to bring that up. He bowled a 300.
Yeah, the guy's amazing.
He's a monster, and like whatever he does, he's one of those freaks that whatever he does, he's really, really good at. How about who else? Jose Altuve.
7 times.
Would you recognize
7
him?
times.
Yeah, I would recognize Jose
You would
Altuve.
recognize because he's the opposite of like who you would think.
Jose. Here's the thing: like position players, there are some guys, everyday players you're watching every single day, and I don't know. Jose Altuve is one of those guys. Plus, I don't know. He's become with the scandal with the Astros. He's very recognizable. What I was going to say with Jose Altuve is, I don't think that people should be looking at him the way they were looking at him as a cheater. The way they look at some people look at the steroids era the same way as that cheating scandal, and it's like, look at him. Look at what he's done post cheating scandal.
But here's the deal:
he let it happen.
He did cheat, right? So he did. And so now, of course, it doesn't look like he's cheating. He's still throwing up the same numbers, and he's still doing great.
Find me a steroid user that was great once they were exposed. Was A-Rod great? Was Pettit great? Pettit was good.
I think A-Rod was still pretty good.
He wasn't great. Not after he was exposed. No, he was not. He was not the same guy. He was not the same guy.
Well, he was still really good.
There was a lot of questions about Barry Bonds when he was still crushing it. Like,
Barry took steroids this whole end of the career.
Toward the end.
Yeah, he's probably stopped and then fell off.
In size. But yeah, it's.
But to me, like you can't look. You can look at Jose Altuve and go, "Well, we know the cheating's done."
What's his name? Tatis Jr. He was nailed with steroids, and then last year he put up a monster.
Solid, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there are guys,
a different type of steroids.
Yeah. No, I get it.
I think the argument that hey, you cheated, but you're still really good anyways, is not a great one. Like we can still look at him as a cheater because he was a cheater.
I'm going to make this right with Sean Mania.
No, you're not.
He's not.
He doesn't care. He does not care.
Ask him if he wants to have lunch with you, man.
I know. Now I want to play golf with him.
That'll go well.
Play some golf.
I'm sure
What do
he's
you
going to
mean?
want to go out and
I'm
just
a
have
great lunch hanger.
Just some stranger in the apartment. You're just going to go up to him and basically
Stranger?
cold call him.
I'm his neighbor.
Hey, Sean.
My mom Instagram messaged
I'm a
him.
big
It's
Mets fan.
so
Can we go out to
embarrassing.
eat? Is that going to be your line?
I don't know any. I don't have a line anymore. My mom took it on her own.
What'd
on
she
herself.
say?
She's so embarrassing.
Can you just picture?
What did she say?
Like, I hate doing this because my mom is the greatest person in the world in my life ever. But there are moments where she does embarrass me. Like I wanted to talk to Sean on my own. She writes this guy on Instagram. She has to get involved.
What did she
Hey,
say?
my son tried to talk to you.
As the matriarch of a diehard Mets-loving family, I apologize on behalf of your neighbor, my son. He is even more embarrassingly the co-host of a local radio sports show called The Pat and Aaron Show. And he told the story of meeting you yesterday and asking whether you were a Mets or Yankees fan. We're all mortified.
Your mom sent that out to him.
How is she the
She's fighting
matriarch?
your battles. The fact that she used matriarch in a DM.
Of a Mets-loving family when, by the way, she's a massive Rays fan.
She's a massive Rays fan now, but she's like me. She's like my dad. My mom and I are split in the family because my brother and my dad are just massive Rays fans, and my sister-in-law are Mets fans. Massive Mets fans, sister-in-law too. My mom and I are big Mets fans, but also big Rays fans as well. How could you not be?
But your
it's
mom's a
made my
bigger
career.
Rays fan than Mets fan.
Yes. My mom is a bigger Rays fan than Mets fan.
Like your dad doesn't want her in the room when the two teams are playing each other.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, there was a whole
They've
thing.
had a big fight. Like their biggest fight in the last couple of years was over the Mets and the Rays.
It's hilarious.
It was like a big deal.
Oh, that's
my
so
dad
great.
was like, I've never seen my dad so mad in his life.
I cannot believe your mom is fighting battles for you on social
I
media.
don't ask her to fight these battles. She just I love my mom.
matriarch.
Like I try to separate from
imagine
being a
getting
mama's
that
boy.
message? That's so great.
Mom, you can't quit me. That's what's happening. It's so true.
That's all moms. Moms can't quit us.
And
That's
I
how
love
moms do it.
But I had a whole plan of I wanted to talk to him myself, and now my mom's
Dude,
He's going to see him
Here's-
in the hallway. He's going to go the other way. He's built it up too much now.
Yeah.
You
He
won't
probably
talk- you
won't even
talk to him.
see that message.
I'll tell you
he
what you're
won't.
not going to do. You're not going to ask him to lunch.
I will.
No.
I was.
I would recommend not
I
asking
didn't
him
even
to
know
lunch.
who he was, and I was about to ask him to go play golf with me. Like,
Yeah, don't do that.
I was in
either.
nice man phase and mode.
Yeah.
That's all we have time for today. Doug, always fun hanging out with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Somebody wants to start a segment. Would Aaron recognize them in person?
Should have asked Doug about business real estate earlier, but if you're looking for some, make sure you look him up on social media at Doug Waechter 10. Our apologies. We'll get more into that next week, Doug Waechter.
I mean, he got to make fun